Oh my
Wow.
gosh, are we live?
We're extremely live.
I haven't been this live in like 24 hours.
Wow. Yeah, true. How long were you doing that stream last night?
Dude, I looked at the live, section of our YouTube channel where it says, the live streams, and both this week and last week's Tuesday live stream on Drip, we were over 6 hours. I got
That's
back to my place and I was like, why am I so tired?
You got to ask that question after a 6-hour stream, after the
Yeah.
busiest
Yeah.
busiest show of the year or maybe ever for you, and then driving however many hours, 6 or 8 hours back, and then doing a mentorship call like the second you hopped off the. But why were you tired? It's hard to explain.
I don't know. It's like I'm not 22 anymore. It's like I'm 32.
It's wild how hard that 30 hits. The day I turned 30, I was like, am I like actually dying? I'm so tired. I'm like,
I have like this residual knee pain. I'm like, this is not right. This is bad.
Yeah. Oh yeah, my knee pops now like in normal jiu-jitsu drills. The other day it popped in a girl's ear and she's like, "Are you good?" I was like, "It does that all the time." Like you're fine. It's good. It's totally fine.
I love it. Hello, friends. We are so live. Thank you for being here. This is volume 14 of the Midweek Machamps with me, Jar Chomp, and Ricky Oyama's Trading. Thank you all for being here. It is Wednesday, which means we are so live. And today we are going to be focusing more on a collector-friendly conversation, right? So after our last stream, where we had the Trader John's boys on. Shout out Derek and John. Love you guys. Ricky and I chatted basically like before I even got home that night. Like, hey, like it's been really cool to have some business focused topics the last few volumes, but let's get back to a collector focused topic because at the end of the day, both you and I are still big time collectors. That's basically the reason that we're in this business in the first place. And so we're going to get back to that with a really fun topic. And we hope you guys enjoy today where we talk about chase cards from past generations. We'll compare some beautiful artworks and all those things. But before we dive into that, we got traditional topics. And maybe Ricky, just give us a quick synopsis of what we were up to 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so you mentioned we had the Trader John's guys on, which was fun. They joined the desk as guest co-hosts. And the main topic was whether it's too late to start a Pokemon side hustle or business or YouTube channel or whatever it might be. Is it too saturated? Is it too late? Is it easier or harder than it was last year? And it was a really fun discussion. And we agreed on a lot of things and we had slightly different takes on some things, but it was, I thought, like a lot of really actionable stuff for people. So if anyone that's watching this is missed that one and you're interested in creating content around Pokemon or using the flipping in the hobby to help fund your collecting hobby, or you want to make it a side hustle, or you want to make it a full-on business someday, wherever you are on that spectrum, I thought it was a good one to watch.
Yeah, a takeaway for me on that was that they transitioned into making more consistent long-form content on YouTube like pretty recently and have seen a ton of growth, obviously, in their channel, which is just so exciting for those who are wanting to break into that part of the hobby, making content, whether it's about vending or their business or their collection or anything. And the opportunity is definitely still there is kind of where we concluded that conversation.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it was fun. I thought the reception was good. But yeah, as you said today, obviously we're going to talk a little bit of markety stuff during Hitmon topics. There's always something going on there, but it's going to be like probably more than 80% just nerding out on Pokemon cards today. And we might as well let people know, because we've got the guest lined up for 2 weeks from now. That one's probably going to be pretty markety because, Jake, who are we having on in 2 weeks?
We're going to be having Dan from Catch 'em All Collectibles on the Midweek Machamps 2 weeks from now. He is a brilliant mind in the space, has been making content for many years, very business and even like finance focused content. If you were to go and watch his stuff, he's someone who's doing like multiple 7 figures in revenue every year. He's, with live streamers and all the different things that he's doing, huge relationships with like Fanatics and eBay Live and again, just kind of like an OG, honestly, when it comes to Pokemon business and people who have left corporate to go and do it full time. So we'll have him on, and it'll be a really great pod where I'm sure we get into nitty gritty of Poke business talk. But today is Poke collector talk, and that's what we're excited to, because as much as we nerd out about numbers and leaving corporate or whatever, I'm even more excited about the little pieces of cardboard that I get to put in my binders.
We're going to talk about a lot of cardboard today, and maybe so chat, as always, we will still do Q&A at the end. So ask questions throughout, or throw them in at the end. We'll kind of pay attention. I want to acknowledge this is one of my favorite things people say about my buyer POVs. So what's up? I don't know how to pronounce that. Laos. But thanks for being here, and thanks for watching the buyer POVs. And yeah, one of my probably top 5 nice things people say about watching my content is that it gave them more confidence to go to shows, which is awesome, because shows can be a little overwhelming. And if that's not normally your vibe, if you can go and have fun, it's like some of the most fun. I know, Jake, you and I, obviously, you do 37 shows a year, and you wish you could do more and walk around at them more. And yeah, man, we obviously love shows. So thanks for being here. Leave your questions in. We'll kind of star them throughout. We'll still answer them at the end. And we're going to otherwise kind of go through our usual agenda. So maybe we start with the traditional topics on a PC pickup or item. And I was pretty sure we were going to have, there's a big overlap in the Venn diagram of what I think we're about to talk about. But you or me first here?
I think you first. You have a beautiful post on your Instagram, and failed to mention me in the caption, and it was awesome.
Huh. That's an interesting take. Okay. So I will go. I actually do think it makes sense for me to go first, because this story starts with this, actually. So this is the 1998, I believe, CD promo box that I think there's like a ton of cards in here. It's not just the big 3. I think there's like 17 cards or 15 or 12 or something. It's a stack of cards, but sealed CD promo box here. And so I really got the itch to own one of these, because in your background, sir, you have one of these. You had one. Yeah, you got one of these a little while back. And, mimetic desire or whatever, you and I, we don't admit it much, but we look up to each other as idols, really, I think, in a lot of ways. And
and when I have something my idol, but yes, I am an influencer.
Yes. So I was influenced by you in this instance, because I saw that and I was like, well, wish I didn't know that was a thing, and that was something I could access and afford. So you were kind enough a handful of shows ago, when one came to your table, to text me like right as the deal was going on or right after, and say, CD promo just came by. Like, are you actually a buyer? Like, kind of, were you serious about it? And I was like, yeah, they're 2.5K or whatever, give or take. Like, we'll figure it out. So you've had it for a while. And we were like, well, new year, we'll figure it out. Maybe we'll do a trade, or we'll do it in person. Like, I wasn't really stressing it. You were hanging on to it for me. And then it turned out a couple weeks ago, you really, you acquired something and needed the other half of it. And I had something that you wanted.
I acquired this. This is a beautiful stamp box Cramorant in a black label. Walked up to my table in San Diego, front row, and I was like, well, I can't just have just the birds. Like, I probably also need the stamp box Pika. And so I put out an SOS on my Instagram. Who has one? Basically, everyone who hit me up was like, oh yeah, I'll sell it to you for like 40% over last comp. And I was like, okay, what about like a fair price? And lo and behold, who had one?
Well, you knew I had one, I think.
Oh, I might have known.
You texted me and said you have one. So you must have seen it. I did a collection. Maybe you watched my collection update video. Again, we idolize each other. I think we watch most of each other's content. And further proof is that you intently watched as I went through my collection about a month ago. Yeah. You and Franny sat down, and the cat was there, and you all watched
candles.
Yeah. Yeah. And so no, I mean, it was one of the big slabs I had in there. So yeah. So you said, hey, you got one. Yeah, 40% over. Yeah, jar comp.
Yeah, I reserve the right, evil coop.
Totally. But yeah, people were trying to get 9 or 10K from you, which I kind of understood. And I was like, look, I like this card. I basically told you everything's for sale, and I made you bid against yourself. And I tortured you for a little bit and we joked about it on Trader John's podcast. And then right after the podcast, I texted you and I said, I made my mind up hours ago, man. Let's do this. Let's do this trade. You made me a perfectly reasonable offer. So your pickup.
So I got now this to go with this.
Yeah.
A couple of Black Label beauties.
And I think I sent it in that gold graded guard for you on the house, right?
No, you sent me some sort of
like a slab mag.
And I am a graded guard guy, so we should get sponsored probably because I'm kind of a purist on that.
Yeah. Okay, right on. Good. I mean, I've got a relationship with Dragon Scale, but I use both, right? I mean, like I think it goes. You don't have to only use one. You happen to be a purist. I like whatever works for my collection. So
I don't want to talk any trash on Dragon Scale. You as an official affiliate and you're an ambassador. As an official ambassador, I don't want to talk any trash on it.
Well, there's no trash to talk, man. Everyone that's picked them up and used my code Oyama10 has been totally happy with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
My turn.
So, that was your PC pickup, right?
No, dude.
It wasn't?
No, this is.
Oh, what? The box that it comes in.
Oh, yeah, baby. So I even fooled Ricky. He thought my PC pickup was the cool card that he sent me, but this walked up to my table in Pasadena. So now I have a sealed, shipped in the bubble wrap from Japan version of the stamp box and all of its little goodies inside to go along with the Black Labels that I have.
Nice, man. I've owned one of those. And the thing about them that people don't realize is that they're kind of not like the sealed version is not like truly sealed, right? Like It's actually very easy. They're essentially not sealed. They have a really easy like outside wrapper to open. So in the original bubble wrap is probably as good as it gets, assuming there's some, I don't know how you would verify that, but I know that you can open them and they have pretty high gem rates. And obviously like the stamp box Pikachu has like 300 something pop and Black Label, like the print quality is not bad. And you can actually kind of see you could take the promos out and see them. So I always kind of encourage people to like, my brother-in-law was like, is it a play to buy these stamp boxes and grade them? And I was like, it's really not. That's not the play. Like buy the stamp box if you want the stamp box. So why'd you pick that up?
I'm interested in like TCG products that have like a story and some exclusivity. And, if they're exclusive to Japan, then I'll pick up the Japanese, a Japanese product for sure. Like, so I have the Mario and Luigi box and, the CD promo and that kind of stuff. And this kind of fits in with that same theme. I also have the Rocket Attaché briefcase, like really, really cool stuff that we just didn't get in the US. And that's probably more like what speaks to my heart than even like the chase of a chase card from a pack. Like, because what I was collecting before I got into the cards at all was
games,
like video games and consoles. Official partnership releases with the DS, the 3DSs, the Game Boy Colors, and that kind of stuff. I really, really like that. And just kind of like the allure of items that are still sealed as they were when you could find them in, the shop or the big box store or limited release and that kind of stuff like that. What I like about that even more than cards is that it represents a specific time. Like if you think about it, like I'll show this off maybe in a future pod, but I picked up recently the New York Pokemon Center exclusive Game Boy Color, still complete in box, and it's an exclusive shell on the Game Boy, and it was released only certain people really could get it or whatever because it was only at that store in the country. And it just represents like, the Pokemon mania that was happening back in the early 2000s and like transports you back to that time just as much or maybe even more for me than like a specific, Ken Sugimori artwork on a card. And this is the kind of thing that like I really like. And when I can get my hands on it, I really do see it as just kind of like a sunk collection cost. I'm not too worried about the resale. I think that this goes for probably somewhere around $2,300 or whatever.
Wow.
But because it is what it is, I don't feel like I would sell it or try to rip it open and grade it or anything, you know, like I like it a lot.
Yeah. Wow. If I'm not mistaken, I sold one of those at a show in October 2024 for, it was like $400 at the time. That was not that long ago. So I had no idea that that was how much they were now.
Yeah, well, the PSA 10 of the Pikachu has really been strong the last 8 months or so. I think it goes for like $2,500 by itself.
That'll do it.
So yeah, the PSA 10 combo pair is like $3K now.
Wow. Wow. There you go. Cool. Well, I now need either the black labels of those Stamp Box promos back, or I have the BGS 10 Cramorant, so I would honestly be happy with the matching BGS 10 for the Pika. So I could probably find that at some point. But that's cool, man. Fun pickup. I like it.
Thank you.
Yeah, I had one. I had the one that I sold. I kept as part of my PC for like 6 months, and it was like on display in my living room. It's a cool piece to look at too.
Yeah.
Cool. We had a couple quick. We'll come back to one of them. Had a question. So earlier, Adam collects. Thanks for the super chat. We'll come back to the question later. Johto Jake, a local friend of mine, also has a live stream with our friend Ern as well. So love from Johto Jake. Thanks, man.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah. All right, man. Favorite or notable card deal since the last live stream?
Dude, I have trouble being specific because there were some insano deals that happened in Pasadena this past weekend.
I bet.
But I know that we're going to talk to kind of generally my thoughts on the show and kind of what that means for the market later on in the session today. But like a couple of big deals. So is it okay if I share a few?
Yeah, it's your pod, it's my pod. We make the rules, man.
I idolize you. I want to ask for your permission.
Thanks, man. Well, I idolize you back, and you have permission to make decisions in real time.
Thank you. So, yeah, the high-end Pokemon graded card market is strong. I sold that Rayquaza Holland Phantoms reverse PSA 10 that I picked that up in Indianapolis. I don't remember if I showed that off on maybe one of our volumes in December, but that sold that for 11,000 plus a sealed booster box of Brilliant Stars, so about 11.5.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, the last public comp was not too long ago for 10.2, but lowest list is like 17 or something like that. So, very likely that the next comp is going to be, 13, 14, 15 higher. Who knows? Because things keep trending upwards when we're talking about the rare stuff. So that was a big deal. Mm-hmm. And it was one of those things where I had a big card and it sold like primarily in cash.
Wow.
Which, like, the vast majority of the time when you move a big card like that, it's like a big trade out. And so it's nice when it happens where it's just a big cash deal. It's hard to walk away from that.
Yeah.
I sold a Skull Pikachu for 8.8 thousand in cash. The ponchos are just so strong again. I saw people selling like the Charizard X and Y ponchos for like 27, 28,000 for the pair, man. Like crazy numbers.
Wow.
And then other than that, just like notable deals, like a couple of really cool like childhood collections walked up to the table, still in their binders, or just kind of like, a stack of WotC hollows that they had pulled out of their binder and were trying to sell at the show. So yeah, tons and tons of base set hollows and some e-readers and beautiful stuff walking up to the table. And we were able to cash people out who were just kind of looking to get some money for their collection that they didn't have a connection to. And yeah, lots of fun, notable deals. I'm sure we'll get a video out with all those deals on there.
Love it. Yeah. When you get a big deal like that, it was a Rayquaza Delta species one, right? The Holland Phantoms.
Yeah.
When you get a lot of cash like that, do you want to put it right back into a big card, or do you use that to buy a collection and diversify that? Or is it just whatever comes up opportunistically? How would you think about?
It's definitely the latter. You know, I know some people that are like, if they sell a big card, they feel like that's kind of, oh, I now have this hole in my inventory and I need to
Yeah.
buy something to replace it as soon as possible. I really don't personally see it like that. It's very opportunistic. What's going to walk up? You know, who's going to send me a message about a big card or a collection that they, want to move. In this situation, I had been contacted in advance of the show. Someone had a $30,000 sealed collection that they wanted to sell. So we did the show on Saturday, Sunday, drove to dinner on Sunday after the show, met the guy in the parking lot of the restaurant, did the $30,000 deal, and then ate dinner, and then immediately drove out of town. And so it was just like one thing after another, an absolutely insane weekend. And so it was a good thing I had that extra cash on hand to pay that guy for his collection.
Love it. Yeah, I definitely had a little bit of show FOMO for this one. The last couple, the Hawaii one and this one, I was like, man, oh, well, next year or the next, whatever, I'll hit the
I
next.
won't rub it in. I know how you feel.
Thank you. Mine is, so I have a video coming out on Monday that's going to show this whole thing. But speaking of buying entire collections, the long and short of this story is I used to source a lot on Reddit before I had any sort of following. I would just post on the Reddit, like a Pokemon TCG trade subreddit. And hadn't done that in a really long time. But after a couple successful shows, I felt like I had the cash sort of burning a hole in my pocket a little. I had more like I had inventory value that was not in inventory form, and I wanted to convert my cash back into cardboard. So I started doing a little bit more proactive sourcing, and somebody reached out. I think I might have alluded to this. Someone realized that I left the tiniest little hint in the post that I was a content creator that buys collections. And so like, if you want to see examples of that, you can reach out, kind of thing. Someone's like, hey, are you Yamas trading? I was like, yeah. And they're basically like, if you can confirm that, I've watched all your videos, and like, I'm trying to get out of Pokemon for Dragon Ball Z, and I'm just looking to sell my whole collection. And this collection is like, it's just an incredible vintage collection that this person's been curating since pre-COVID. So they're into it very cheap, and they've bought a lot of cool things. And so you'll have to watch that video on Monday to see the whole thing. There's no way I could possibly like show you or describe to you what it is, other than we were taking a guess. I was literally like waiting to sit down at an Italian restaurant to get pizza with my wife. And I'm like, I have to do this deal right now. I'm sorry. And like, we're figuring it out. And like, I'm telling the guy, like, is it 15K or 100K? Cause like, I don't, where is it on that spectrum? And they're like, I don't know. I think it's like 30. It turned out to be about 40. I've processed all of it. Anyway, you'll hear the whole story on that video, but I'll show you a couple of the cool things that were in it.
Yes.
Okay. That's one of the cool things.
Yes. First ed. Wow.
And these are just the packs, obviously. There were over 500 singles.
Oh, vintage single collection it's like a love letter. I would read it every day.
It really is. You'll see in the video how excited I genuinely was to be going through it. Like as I'm opening it, I'm like, oh, I forgot this was in this. Like, because I didn't look, it was like 50 photos. I didn't actually look that close. I looked at 10 photos and said, I literally want every card in these photos. And they said, I'll send you the whole thing. I trust you. You comp it and pay me after. Another fun thing with this, you and I have talked about being big swirl enjoyers. This person, he didn't tell me this until I was going through it. I'm literally like, I'm recording myself doing it, so you'll see it on Monday. I'm like, did this guy curate cards with swirls? Because like every other card has like a nice swirl in it. And I asked him, it turned out he did. If he could buy a version with a swirl, he did. He had multiples of a lot of cards. So you'll see it. It's like 250 English and 250 Japanese vintage cards. Maybe 30 or so slabs, a couple of high-end fun ones. But yeah, these vintage packs were, I'm not in a rush to sell some of these, I guess is how I feel about it. I've never owned these like first edition, like the Gym Heroes are really cool.
Yeah.
They're like $375 each. They're not like ultra expensive items. So I might hold on to them for a little bit. We'll see.
Yeah, no, I feel the same way. I picked up a Gym Heroes box in Card Party in Tampa in June, and I think I intentionally sat on it for 4 or 5 months just because the art is so uber nostalgic. It's like something about those two gym sets that, like, because there's so much like anime energy in them compared to the previous sets.
Totally.
They're so juiced.
Yeah. That's a good point. I hadn't yeah, you're right. A lot of them are like in action in a way that the sets right before weren't, right? Like base jungle fossil, they're kind of just standing there with a blank background for most of those pretty much all those cards.
Yeah.
At least the hollows and stuff. But
Yeah, like I have
Brock's Rhydon is like sprinting, like they're all doing stuff.
I have this Giovanni's Nidoking in my PC.
Yeah.
You know, and it like you look at this card and it throws you back to not only the anime, but like the freaking Game Boy game.
Yeah.
Like you are battling Giovanni in his gym and his Nidoking uses Earthquake on you. And you're like, what the heck was that? You know, like it's that kind of energy. So it's such a great set. Don't blame me for keeping it.
Yeah. Yeah. Love it, man. A lot of fun deals. We're doing the thing. This is probably my like absolute one of my I'd have to think about this. It's got to be a top 2 non-monetary perk of like doing this a little bit in a sort of business like format. Is that you're turning so much that you get to like see and touch and own a lot of stuff that if you told 7-year-old me about any of what's going on in my life right now, he would pass out. He would fly into another dimension in excitement.
How fast would 7-year-old Ricky have just ripped open that CD promo and like absolutely just loved the cards to death and turn, you know, put the CD in your little computer and tried to figure it out? And because like you're pretty proficient in Japanese, like that would have been so fun.
Enough, especially at that time, I was spending summers there. So that's the main reason Japanese vintage cards are nostalgic to me is around that time I was getting hand-me-downs from like family friends that were outgrowing them. So there was one summer I went back and there was a rubber banded stack, no sleeves, no nothing, just rubber banded stack of hollows from a family friend who maybe he was like high school age or something. And he's like, yeah, give him to Ricky when they come visit. And it was all those like it's all this type of era stuff, right? It's the early WotC, like 98, 99, 2000-ish. I was often like living in Tokyo during the summer in those times. So yeah, you're right. I would have opened it. Though you've heard a story like this before and you'll laugh. The reason I collect the Lugia is because even 7-year-old Ricky, when he pulled a hit, would go to eBay and flip it so he could buy more packs. And that's not made up. That's why I collect this, because I have a core memory of opening it up in the backseat of my mom's minivan after, I don't know why, but they went and bought us a pack to open. And it was like I sold it for $20 or something on eBay. But so there's definitely part of me like I might have sold the Charizard on eBay in the year 2000 to make back the money on the box itself. But 100% I was opening it.
Dude, you've been a reseller and a flipper from birth.
Pretty much, man. Yeah, pretty much. All right. What is going on in the chat here? Real quick, this one I had seen. Are we doing Card Party San Diego? What's up? I think this guy's name is Jake also. We are vending Card Party San Diego together. So if you would like to see the Machamps in real life, it will be quite easy to see us both. We'll be side by side for that show.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
Very excited. All right, man. That's it, right? Or no, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. We're getting into the tall grass now.
Okay. So we're leaving Pallet Town. We have no Pokemon in our pocket. We're walking into the tall grass, and what kind of stuff are we going to discover before Professor Oak saves our bacon?
Yeah. Well, it's a good question. I think the first thing we're going to discover is your read or general opinions on Front Row Pasadena, like boots on the ground. One of the frames we wanted to look at this through was Ascended Heroes. Just came out on Friday, I want to say. I think only 3-pack blisters, so I imagine supply's not we're not drowning in supply would be my guess. But you tell me how Ascended Heroes was trading at Pasadena, and then maybe open that discussion to like what you've noticed at shows. I haven't done a show in the last couple of weeks, but I've done a few story sales, and I think we're feeling where the market is a very different place than it was in October, November of last year. So let's start with Ascended Heroes, though. Did it come by your table at all? Were people talking about it?
I got to see a couple of the SIRs in person.
Yeah.
Guys, this set is the real deal. I don't know if you already have been able to open some yourself. I mean, for those of you who are able to pick some up at retail somehow, congrats. That is awesome. But the set is the real deal. The artworks in person are stunning. I got to see the Dragonite SIR. Someone traded in the gold Dragonites, and so I took that in for trade against all of what I should have done based on my business acumen. I should not have taken any of those cards in, but I took in the gold one. I think it has a chance at grading well, so I wanted to risk it. But even more than that, I just freaking love that card. Like anyways, the set is legit. The fact that it's such low supply meant that I didn't see very much of it. I saw none of it sealed available. And if there was some in the showroom, I'm positive that it sold out that first day. You know, people walking around and picking up packs and getting a chance to actually open it.
Yeah.
And yeah, my take on Ascended Heroes in relationship with the rest of the market is that these cards are going to stay pretty valuable, specifically the main chases, for a while until we can get like really significant supply. And you might even see them like the big ones like move up from where they are now over the next few weeks. Like that gold Charizard and the Dragonite and the Gengar, obviously. Like you might see those go up over the next few weeks as people who like just can't wait to have them pay whatever price is available. So that's, I don't know, like on top of that, even if and when they catch up on supply, this is a set that is so good. If the market stays anywhere near as strong as it is right now, and I'm assuming it will because of all the tailwinds, there's just no chance that this set will ever be available at MSRP prices. I don't see how it happens. It's too good. The artworks are too good. The chase is too real. It's like, you know, if you ask me honestly, it's a better set than Prismatic in almost every way. Like I know that there's full evolution set, but like we've got Chase card, Charizard, Dragonite, Gengar, Pikachu, and that's really hard to compete with.
Yeah.
So absolutely, very cool. I don't own any. I didn't get to open any. All I have is that gold Dragonite, and hopefully it gets a 10. And if it does, I'm just going to keep it. But general market sentiment based on how the show went outside of just Ascended is that we are so back, baby. We are so back. Not all of the singles, like especially modern singles, have recovered to their all-time highs that they experienced in the fall of last year, but they're dang close. And the liquidity is back. I as in Trey and I at the table, we sold like 5 copies of Raw Bubble Mew, 4 Lugia Alt Arts, tons of big slabs, small slabs, illustration rares that were $40 and less were just flying off the table. And the liquidity is so back. Now, I don't know if all prices will recover. There's a lot of things that play into that, but liquidity is back.
Yeah, that's been the most noteworthy thing for me as well. Haven't done a show in about a month now. It was exactly this time last month was our last show, but done a couple story sales. Pokebro JT, who's in the chat, is a mod here, and people have seen him vend with me, is a more official sort of part-time part of my team right now. And so he led a story sale, and every story sale, it's like, I warned him beforehand. I was like, hey, I hope you're ready for what's up, Arvin. I was like, I hope you're ready for like a lot of DMs. Cause I did a story sale with like 23 cards, like 12 slabs and 9 singles, just higher, like kind of higher end stuff, you know? And I had 70 individual DMs that day. And that was not the case for story sales in October, November, and most of December. So, the liquidity is a big thing. I've told my wife a bunch of times, like the whole market could go down by 50%. That'd be painful. It would take a couple months to kind of like recover that through sweat equity. But the liquidity is the thing. Like if all the prices were 60% lower than they were right now, but we had right now's liquidity, it would be, I would actually, in a lot of ways, I would actually like that better, to be honest.
Yeah, it means you could open more packs. It'd be a lot of fun.
It'd be better in a lot of ways. So the market prices thing, it's like, yeah, whatever. If, you know, like, yeah, I sold a Paldean Fates Charizard and it was like $205 or something was market a couple days ago, and I'm peeling off this. It's got 5 stickers on it, and I'm peeling it back. It's 245, 255. Like, I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm down 25% on this item, but whatever, like I'm up on these other things, and the liquidity's back, and we just keep moving, and that's what it's about. So yeah, we've got a show in about 2 weeks, so I'll see how that one feels. But yeah, I can't hold on to anything cool. Like posting these, it almost makes you wonder, like, am I underpricing these things? Are going so fast? Like, should I be asking for more? Like, I don't know I don't know. Japanese vintage cards, I sold a ton of them the other day. Anyway, it was awesome. It's been fun, and it's fun. The market prices thing is one thing, but the liquidity is really fun to be part of.
It really is. And like, especially for those who are in the business of like trying to build a personal collection, like if you can, and I know that you're like an ambassador again of this idea, but like funding your personal collection by buying other collections and keeping what you like and selling the rest, like, goodness me. Yeah, it's so fun right now to be able to see so many cards, like liquidity just means like big turnover, and that just means you get to see more and more and more cards and have a chance to own things you've never owned before.
Yep. Agreed. Yeah, 100%. We had Wind Waker with the super chat here. Busy making money while he was alive, but has to take a break sometimes and watch the midweek hedge funders. Got to take break for health, which is, we're on a spectrum of health. Yeah, really keeping score on all the inside memes of the midweek Machamps for sure.
Yeah, have Wind Waker, I took a small nap today so that I could be so that my mental acuity could be enough to ward off these kinds of backhanded insults.
Love it. Yes, and we discussed that right before. Your first nap in 2.5 years.
Yes, isn't that great? I'm feeling electric tonight. Let's go all night.
Your aura is electric. Again, I idolize you, so maybe I'm biased, but
yeah. Awesome. I mean, you can't see the halo. I zoomed into my face too close.
Love it. Great. So that was our first Hitmon topic, was Ascended Heroes and boots on the ground at Pasadena, and how do we feel about the market generally? Just a subjective thing. Then the only other Hitmon topic for today is, last time with Trader John's, we kind of speculated on some of the leaks. There were a handful of cards that had CRI in the lower left corner, and we saw Greninja and a few other cards from that. And Chaos Rising is confirmed to be the name, releasing May 22nd, and it is indeed part of Ninja Spinner. So kind of feels like all those leaks and all the speculation was essentially correct in this case. I don't have much to comment on this, other than just to sort of report on the latest on this topic. But yeah, I don't know if you have any thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like we saw some leaks that looked relatively official of what the Mega Greninja card looks like.
Yeah.
We know from experience that Greninja can carry a set, especially if it's not like, printed into the ground, like as far as the booster boxes are concerned. But in my mind, like from what I'm seeing, there's a good chance this set is even more interesting to collectors than Twilight Masquerade. Not necessarily that this card is better than the one from Twilight, but like, all things considered, the rest of Twilight is really just an Eevee and then a bunch of the mask cards. So yeah, I expect this set to be relatively solid demand, but also hopefully pretty playable. So a couple sets in a row where we get playable cards going on, and then we'll see what they have in store for us in the summer. Hopefully Rayquaza, hopefully Gen 3 for all of us nostalgia people.
A Gen 3 set would be dangerous for my responsible financial decision making.
Yeah.
But Gen 2 and 3 are, I mean, obviously everyone loves Gen 1, but like Gen 2 and 3 are very sort of near and dear for me. So,
but you got to buy your Pokemon cards while you're alive.
You do. I mean, you really do. There's no other time to do it.
Yeah, it's really this one opportunity to be buying the Pokemon cards.
It feels that way. It certainly feels that way. I remind myself of that frequently when I buy Pokemon cards. Yeah. FOMO for if we don't have a second life, I don't want to miss out. So You gotta buy them now.
It's gonna get religious real quick.
Anyway, we'll come back to the screen share in a little bit, but I think we're ready to move on to our next piece of the tall grass here, which is sharing a toga piece of my mind. Do you want to remind the chat? We haven't done this. We've done this only once, this segment, and it's been a little while. You want to remind the chat what a toga piece of my mind is?
So a toga piece of my mind is where Ricky and I get to look back on some of our favorite comments from social media pieces, short form, long form, whatever it may be, and just pick some of our favorite comments or singular favorite comment and share it with the world and give them a toga piece of our mind about what we really think about what they're writing on our video that we're making for them to watch for free.
Right. That we spent time. So anyway, it's almost always short form video. I think you've got one from long today, which is interesting. My most recent long was unbelievably positive in the comments. I actually, like, genuinely, I mean unbelievably literally, like not one negative comment, which is surprising. I was sure I was going to get some. But I have a couple particularly viral shorts really reach an audience that's, I think, my shorts editor reminded me the other day that a lot of the people commenting are probably 12 years old. And the more I look at these comments through the lens, like if you read those short form comments and you're like, this person's 12, this person's 12, the world starts to make a lot more sense. And like the depressive haze that I get, not from negative comments, but like just from how not brilliant some of these people seem. I'm like, these are people who have very smooth prefrontal cortexes. Like, that's totally allowed. They're totally allowed to make dumb comments. Like, they will look back on this in 10 years and be like, oh God, I'm so bummed that I was doing that. I was just doom scrolling. Anyway, off the soapbox, my comment that I chose this week, which makes me laugh every time I see it, is on my second most viral short. This was a short where a guy came up to the table and he's like, can I trade you for this card? It's the exact same card. Yeah. It's a Sabrina's Young R9. And I'm like, why would I trade you the exact same card? I'm like, it's a really weird request. He's like, well, yours is a bumper. Like, do you sell the bumper separately? I'm like, oh, you just want the bumper. Yeah, I sell the bumpers for $5. So comments can't decide who's the meanest or dumbest person in the video, but they're certainly going to debate it. But my favorite one here, vendor just blew in from Stupid Town. And to me, this one, it's so juvenile. It's vendor just blew in from Stupid Town. Truly makes me laugh every time I read it.
It reminds me of this TikTok I saw the other day. The one of those TikTok comedians, and he's makes this video about like, kind of a tongue in cheek. Oh, these are some of the best comebacks that you can tell people if they're talking trash, and it's like, oh well, is your opinion made of poop because it smells bad?
It's on the same exact level. Just
blowing from Stupid Town is legitimately something that a 12-year-old heard from his dad and then wrote on the internet.
It's so good.
Oh wow, are you the mayor of Poop Town?
Did this vendor poop himself? Because he really stinks. It is totally on that level, man. Vendor just blew in from Stupid Town. Truly every time I read it, I laugh to like nearly the point of tears because it's just so juvenile and dumb. It's like not even it's not even mean. It's just hilariously juvenile. So that's my pick. That was a really fresh one. I think that's a hot off the press, like 48-hour-old comment probably.
I think something that also some commenters, who are putting out the hate comments or, the derogatory or whatever you're going to call that kind of comment, the way they're writing it oftentimes makes you feel like they're writing it for an audience that they're assuming are all the other people that are watching the video or commenting on it. But like the only people that really are looking are the creators. And it's like they're like the writer is totally ignorant of that fact. Like the only person who's going to read what you have to say here is the person who made the piece of content. And so like, why are you writing it as if they don't even exist and that this piece of content just somehow poofed out of the Ethereum and now you get to watch it for free?
I love those. I got one on the long form very recently in the last day or so that said something like, it was referring to this vendor or this guy. And I was like, I'm the guy. It's my video. You're commenting on my video. It's my channel.
Exactly. This guy has no idea what he's talking about. It's like, who are you talking to?
Do you think this is like a conversation completely separate from the video about the video? Like,
yeah. They're too used to just typing all of their thoughts into ChatGPT for validation.
But dude, if you don't cast, you got to cast a lot of lines for the chance to get imaginary internet approval. And I think that's what they're doing it for, is the off chance that you get the most upvoted version. I have a video where a woman and a man interact and it's completely innocent. And the number one comment, it's been commented about 3,000 times on this video, is just the word simp. And I'm like, are you adding to the discourse with this? Are you hoping you'll be the number one upvoted? This video is already like a month old. Like, you know, you're only the 3,000th person to say simp on this video about a very sweet guy who had no ulterior motive. It's not even about me, by the way, but anyway, yeah. Shorts comments, especially, really interesting place. So that was mine. Vendor just blew it from Stupid Town. That's really, I think that one's going to sit with me for a long time.
All right. So mine is from the, we put out a relatively controversial video about some fake Evolving Skies boxes that I bought. And then we opened one of them in the video, I think last week or week before. And, tons of comments from people who were like, oh my gosh, like, thank you for the help. And, telling me the difference between a real box and a fake box. And one thing I didn't even realize is that, and this is kind of interesting, that I grabbed one of the boxes out of my PC that is a real one to like show the difference. And this box here is authentic, but it does have the Evolving Skies error wrap where the Pokeballs are backwards.
Reverse. I did notice that, yeah.
And I didn't even think about it when I was, doing the video, and some people called that out. So that was, first of all, that was interesting. Second of all, there was a pretty consistent sentiment from those who were naysayers about the video, who were basically saying like, bro, like the frequency of times that like you get duped, starting to think that you have no idea what you're doing and no idea what you're talking about. And I'm like, okay. So first of all, I kind of want to defend myself on that front. Like we're talking about someone who has done, I don't know, like 15, 20,000 Pokemon transactions in the last 15 months. And two of them go slightly wrong, and I'm willing to put it out on the internet so that other people don't make the same mistake. And I'm willing to talk about the financial risk of buying things in a secondary market and blah, 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 blah. And then I get flamed for just like being an unprofessional idiot. So there's that. But one of the, and I think this specific comment was a little bit tongue in cheek, but it's the same kind of sentiment as some of the other things in the video. And it says, at this point, it feels like you are doing this on purpose now. We got to be careful in this hobby. It's like the idea that like I would intentionally buy a fake box for any price just so I could make a video about it. Like I have such better things to do with my time than that.
No, but I mean, but then you're going to make $13 million from the one video.
Well, true. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm going to become so wildly rich from telling the difference, the 20,000 views or whatever I'm going to get from telling the difference between these two boxes.
Yeah.
But like the idea that like, not only would I buy a fake box to like, take the time to tell the difference between the two, but that I would be portraying the situation as something that like happened, but it didn't actually happen. I'm lying about the entire scenario. It's just so crazy. It's so crazy. It's like, bro, you probably just made this up, huh? And it's like, no, dude. No.
I love that sentiment. Almost any short that does well, you will get at least one comment that says something about it being staged. And you're like, do you honestly think I set up at a car show and then like all of these interactions, like there's a long form video it's attached to, you think I faked 8 hours of interaction? I mean, wouldn't it be so much easier to just go to a car show and film it?
To actually just do it? Yeah, legitimately.
So good.
No,
man.
and to clear up, the video, like a lot of people were asking like, oh, like you should out the person who did this. And I'm like, no, I'm intentionally not showing you the interaction because I know the person and they didn't know it was a fake
Yeah,
box, and I'm not trying to like destroy their reputation and flame them in front of thousands of people. I'm trying to show the difference between these two boxes and that we all need to be careful when we're buying things, because I've
yeah,
bought fake things. I'm sure you've bought fake things, or at least I've identified them when they walk up to your
identified them for
table.
sure. Yes.
And that happens sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah. When your failure rate is 1 in 7,500 deals, I'd say that's the 99.9998% of the time that you get it right is pretty good authentication skills.
Yeah.
I liked this one from our friend Hella Loot here. Passive aggressive is my favorite thing that people clearly have no idea. This is one of those things also that makes me think like, like people in the comments are 11 years old because they don't just like fully grasp that what they are getting from my video. What they when someone doesn't like me in a short, what they are getting is that I'm aggressive, regular aggressive, not passive aggressive, very direct and assertive. That's what you dislike about me is just regular aggression. So I love passive aggressive as the it's so good.
I think it's also just born of like, and maybe this is confrontational, but that kind of mentality is just born from the idea that people are consuming a lot of content that is being curated by the creator to portray them in a way that is just so utterly messianic that when they do see a video of someone who's being a human and like not just going with the flow and not making everything sunshine and roses and editing it away so that it makes them perfect and beautiful and whatever, that they're either like ugly or stupid or mean. And that is utterly juvenile.
I may be ugly, and I may be the mayor of Stupid Town, but I'm not
Poop town too, yeah.
Stupid Town. Yeah, 100%. All right, man. That was enough fun on the Toga piece of our minds and their minds. The last one I had on our trip through the tall grass before we get to our main topic today, and we are trying to go through these a little bit faster because sometimes the main topic with these tier lists takes a while. The last one is a Gyarados of reality. So we didn't have one, and I messaged you 30 minutes before the pod, and was like, "Oh, I heard about this thing where you have to talk about it." So as much as you and I both don't love giving attention to Logan Paul, and we have done so in the last 2 streams and now 3, I had said sort of with great sadness in my heart, I had said in our first stream of the year that my word for 2026 was going to be gambling, and that it was only a matter of time before these things were going to show up on Kalshi and Polymarket and things like that. And sure enough, I didn't watch this video, but I saw that Logan Paul is in fact, well, I'd seen this sort of trending a little bit, that you can place a bet, place a prediction on how much this Illustrator card will sell for. And Logan Paul himself is linking to that event or whatever, that market in Polymarket on his own channel. And so the Gyarados of reality here, which we've said a couple times, is if you're in this audience, you're probably not who needs to hear this the most. But if you're going to bet on this, please be responsible about it and understand that what you are most likely doing is actually just funneling more money into the hands of these guys. This is a really unregulated space right now, and it would be easier than it should be by far for these guys to have arranged a specific buyer before this thing ever went out for auction, to have known beforehand that it was going to be on a prediction market, to have the real money come from basically like the equivalent of a rug pull or an inside sale, that they could make $10 million betting on what they already know is going to be the correct answer and take money essentially from everybody else. And that might be the actual scheme here, not the proceeds of the card.
Wow.
That's my Gyarados. It's a little conspiratorial, but we've been giving all the conspiratorial takes here that it would not be hard for these guys to stage it. These guys have a track record of running their grifts, even if it's the legal grift, like the Prime Energy drink or whatever. Like sometimes they involve real work, sometimes they're just a straight up scam, and maybe this one's somewhere in the middle. But like, be very, very careful betting on this if you do not know Ken Golden and Logan Paul and whoever's maybe set up to bid $9 million at the end of this or whatever it is. If you do not know if you know those people, then inside trade at your own risk, not financial advice, but still illegal. but poorly regulated here and very, very feasible. So that's my my Gyarados of reality. It's a dark one.
Yeah, definitely food for thought. At the very least, I know that one inconsistency that people have pointed out is like, oh my gosh, like if Logan thinks that the market is so strong and that Pokemon, is a legitimate asset for people to be buying slash investing in, which he has said on, numerous occasions, then why is he the one selling this card at this time? Wouldn't he just kind of diamond hands and hold it and it would appreciate forever? Well, it's because it's not just about the value of the card. It's about him and the people around him, Ken and their marketing strategy, turning the sale of this card into a cultural moment and all of the things that come with cultural moments, the sponsorships, and now in modern times, uh, the thing that comes with cultural moments is a betting market. Like that is just a fact, whether it's Grammy Award winners or sports game winners or what a politician, if they're going to win an election or whatever, like all of it now has betting odds. And I mean, I got to think if they're plugging this in, this is the third thing in the description of the video. They're going to receive a sizable, sum of money for that affiliation to Polymarket for whatever the, gross revenue is to Polymarket for all of the people that are betting on it. Like Logan isn't just going to make 10 million or whatever he makes on this card. He's going to make so much more than that.
Yeah.
And, it's not about a collection piece. It's about virality and celebrity and gambling and all those things.
It is. It is. You're 100% right. I just wanted to warn anyone that might watch this that's thinking about betting on this, that if you're doing that, just understand what you're actually doing, which is maybe just falling for the grift. It's very possible that that's what's going on here. So yeah, it's very possible that actually gambling is the center of this, and marketing is the second. Marketing and gambling are the top two things. Actually, the sale of the card is completely just. It just so happens that it's a Pokemon card, basically.
Yeah, and it's kind of unfortunate because then someone said, it's not a cultural moment, but a stain on the hobby.
Yeah,
it kind of is, right? But everything is a double-edged sword, right? Because this moment is going to bring new eyes into the hobby. It's going to remind some portion of people that Pokemon cards are cool. And, for the wrong reasons, it might bring the right people into the hobby. And that's just kind of a natural downstream effect. On the other hand, it might turn a lot of people off because it just looks a lot like a grift, and it, affirms some people in their belief that putting any of your actual value slash net worth slash real American dollars into buying these things is a waste of your time and is a rug pull, like you said. And two things can be true at once. It can be less regulated and less safe than maybe standard financial markets, but it can also be a legitimate store of value. And those who are nuanced enough and actual fans of the hobby are going to stay. But the only way you become a fan of the hobby is if you get introduced somehow. And some people are going to get introduced via this cultural moment, and others are going to get turned off. And, for those of us that want more people who are genuine, collectors slash business owners slash people of integrity, we want more good people involved, of course.
That actually reminds me, and maybe this is a slightly more positive note to end on before we go to our main topic. I think it was last stream you had talked about when you first started vending, you were frequently getting comments like, how do I find shows near me? And that over time, that trend went away as basically like it became more clear how to find that, people became educated on that, the information was more available, whatever. And for a long time, people know that I kind of tongue-in-cheekily am very frustrated with the question, what app do you use for pricing cards? And so I had a while ago made a video saying, here's all the apps I use for pricing cards, never ask me again. And actually over the last 6 or 9 months, maybe, I actually was genuinely getting that question a lot less than normal. And then over the last couple weeks, I have started getting that question a lot again. And to me, like, and I'm not judging the question, by the way, just to be clear, like everyone has similar questions when they first get back into the hobby. I'm just pointing it out as maybe a signal that, like, one anecdotal little thing that maybe there's a bunch of new people coming in and they're asking questions like, how do I know what a good single is to pick up? And how do I comp cards? What app do I use to comp cards? These, like, very, very ground floor level questions. I'm seeing an uptick in them personally on my content in the past few weeks compared to the previous, let's say, second half of last year.
I agree. Yeah, similar for me. A lot more DMs of like, hey, I'm looking for this card. Do you have it? That kind of stuff. Just kind of like, questions that would come from those that are just a bit more entry level, for example.
Yeah.
So, and that's a sign of what we talked about earlier, where the show scene is back, the liquidity is back, big cards are hitting all-time highs. And I'm sure that what's going on in the news with this auction and everything is somehow, at least a little bit contributing to that.
Probably. Yeah. All right, man. Should we shift to our main topic of the day?
Let's do it. I'm ready for a fight, dude. Knockdown, drag out. It's gonna be great.
Okay. So, you and I did not really talk. So a couple things that we need to sort of discuss with this. So we are going to be tier listing the main chase from every XY versus Sun and Moon set. And of course, this is going to be objective. You cannot dispute the results of today's conversation. Couple things, though. One is you had mentioned, Jake, when we were prepping for this a week or so ago, that you wanted maybe some sort of point system that we could tally up at the end to kind of come up with a quasi-objective result. So yeah. I'm proposing 5 points for S tier. It's hard to make an S tier card, and that should be worth a lot. 3 for A, 2 for B, 1 for C, and -1 if the main chase of your set is a D tier. Like, you should lose a point. It's an actively bad. It's a knock against the era. So
okay,
we're not for the chat. We're not talking about comparing the eras as a whole. We're talking about the main chase card, which for these purposes I defined as I went into TCG Player, I looked up the set, I sorted by highest to lowest, and found the highest priced single in the set. That's usually going to be the rarest, the most sought after, the most valuable. There's one occasion here where I did do Primal Groudon and Primal Kyogre together. That's basically one card, and they're like $2 apart. So we will kind of treat that as one for that set. And XY has one more set, has 13 sets, whereas Sun and Moon has 12, which I was surprised by. I actually didn't know that there was ever inconsistency, but I don't know if we need to decide anything on that up front, but we probably need to curve it at the end a little bit because XY is going to have a one set advantage. So
yeah, I mean, in theory, we could just when we, let's say we go through XY, we can just find the average, right? So
yeah,
add them up, divide by 12, add them up, divide by 13.
Yeah, totally. Yes, we could totally do it that way. How do you feel my point system?
I like it. I think it makes sense. And then I also want to just mention here, like, there's so much to be said about relative set depth and pull rates and print quantities and stuff like that. This is just one way of looking at these generations and seeing which one, which one is objectively better, subjectively better, as it concerns the main chases.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, there were a few occasions as I was looking through it where my favorite card was not the top chase. So that's not what we're doing here. It's not like our personal chase. It was just to try to make this a contained exercise that wasn't, because originally we were throwing around like, what if we do the top 3 cards from every set? And we're like, yeah, that's going to be like 60 cards. It's going to take us 5 hours to get through it.
Yeah,
so
part of this is in an effort of doing it in a reasonable amount of time.
Yes. So do you want to start? So here we go. Do you want to do one era, then go to the next era? Or do you want to hop between eras?
I think we start with XY and then go to Sun and Moon, right? We'll go chronological.
Sure.
That's how my brain works.
Yep, sure. So XY is kind of this row of stuff here. So I'm just going to go down my list in order. And the first one we're going to do is this. I believe it's this Rayquaza from Ancient Origins, right?
That one's from Roaring Skies.
This one from Ancient Origins.
Yes.
Okay. This is the top chase from Ancient Origins.
Yes.
What do you think of this card?
I love this card.
Yeah, it's a mean card. It's good.
It goes so hard.
It goes really hard.
When I see this card, all I can think of is Mega Rayquaza battling Deoxys in space.
Cool. Yeah, I
Very
like
tough.
yeah, the dark shine. You know, the Rayquaza got a real cool, like, shiny. The dark hue to it is just it's one of the baddest cards, one of the baddest Pokemon in the series. So the chat's starting to participate. We love it. People are saying A tier. I like A tier.
Yes, I agree because I personally wouldn't call it S because it is slightly busy.
Agreed. And it's not as iconic, right? It's not like, oh, that's the era, right? And and the best cards from these eras are, not to spoil it, but like they might be obvious S tiers. They're truly iconic chase cards of the entire hobby. And this, I don't think, is quite one of those. It's not on the same scale, but it is a very cool card. And I think it's pretty representative of this style of this era.
Yeah. Let it be known that Jar Chomp Collectibles sold an Ancient Origins booster box for like $1,100 at Front Row, Arizona, like sometime in 2024. And then, 4 months later, the box was worth $6,000. So that's a throwback Clefumble for Ancient Origins.
Stonks.
Yeah, heck yeah, great job, Jake.
Nice.
Lost out on an entire car's worth of value by not just sitting on that box.
Oops.
Whoops.
Whoopsie daisy. All right, man. Well, I think we know how you feel about this Dialga. This is Phantom Forces, which this is a good example of, like, Phantom Forces has a lot of great cards. Like, if we were doing the sets, Ancient Origins and Phantom Forces are really good overall sets. That has I love the bubble Gengar I bought from you. It's in my PC. I bought from you as a Phantom Forces card. But we are talking about this Silver Dialga.
Given the portion of my net worth that's wrapped up in this card, it's got to be S tier for me, bro. This card goes so hard, and it is utterly unique, never repeated. It's impossible to grade. Yeah, he's the god of time. I'm a Pokemon Diamond version shill till I die. Does Jar have this in a 10? Oh, Milotic Miles.
You got to watch the last episode. Oh, yeah, or we'll boost you here. Hang on, let me hit the solo button here.
It's just so nicey nice.
And we do lose the texture. The texture is really what makes this card, and we lose it in this render. Obviously, I just picked the highest quality renders I could find for this.
Yeah, look at that. It's like steel.
Yeah, it is. So for me, the thing about this, like, this design to me is basically like a full art design, but the silver and the texture in reality, it really is one of a kind. And I think it's fairly era defining. And it's like, I don't know. It's a really special card. So I'm pretty comfortable, even though I don't feel as much like personal connection to it. And I don't think the art is that incredible as a card. I think it deserves S tier. It's really a unique, it's unique in the entire, like, pantheon of the Pokemon TCG.
Completely agree. Like, if you had the experience of opening up, 100 packs or so of every X and Y set, and you pull out one of these Silver Dialgas, it would feel like an oddity. Yeah. It would feel like an error, like an incredibly fortunate mishap in your favor.
Good point, man. Yeah, agreed. Okay, going down the list here, we are actually, I'm going to go in the other direction. So, this Gardevoir here. Let's go in the order I've got it. I don't want to get lost. I think it's this Charizard EX is Flashfire.
Yeah, the secret rare from Flashfire.
Secret rare from Flashfire. I think there's a very similar one that's not a secret rare.
Identical art, except for the non-secret rare has a slightly less golden border.
Yes,
and obviously a different set number.
Yeah, the upper left edge, you could really tell the goldenness of the secret.
Yeah, another interesting fact about this card and the non-secret rare is that they're some of the most counterfeited Pokemon cards of all time.
Huh.
Because these cards did not really have texture. They were really just a kind of a gloss.
Yeah.
Which made them made for some pretty convincing counterfeit copies of this card that ended up in circulation.
Yeah, it's a bummer.
I'm not in love with this Charizard. I've actually, I mean, I personally have some strong feelings about the mega cards in X and Y personally. I can understand their beauty, but I think this one like is for chase cards is some of the worst. Like people are saying, it's super busy. Yeah,
I'm putting it in C.
yeah, and the irony here is that like the actual chase from Flashfire should be the full art because the full art is so it's like simple, powerful Charizard. Um, and but yeah, obviously it's a little bit easier to pull than the secret rare, so it makes
Yeah.
sense that it's not as expensive.
Yeah. 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 It just doesn't feel like a chase. Like it doesn't feel like the big chase of the set to me.
Yeah,
it sort of feels like it doesn't have
it's
the
like
gravity.
Pokemon made a similar mistake here as they did in the Sword and Shield era, where they made a lot of their secret rares just rainbows of the same exact stance of the VMAX, where it's like I understand like you've given it some special treatment with a gold border, but it's the same card.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you. I agree. We've got from the chat here, B for Blown In from Stupid Town and
Yeah,
Wind Waker.
exactly.
Don't love Zard, but this is one of my favorite cards. Disagree wholly. Well, unfortunately for you, Wind Waker, this is the definitive tier list, completely objective methodology.
Yeah, Wind Waker, we're only speaking facts here, so
Only facts, not vibes based tier listing at all. Let's move on to Generations. XY Generations has this Mega Charizard EX.
I actually really like this one in comparison. This is my favorite of the Mega Charizard arts in all of the generation.
Wow. Okay. I think there's one that's in Japanese is a promo. It's like gold and he's looking. I wonder if is it in this list overall. Hang on. Yeah, this one here I think I like a little better. We'll get to that later.
Yeah, evolutions.
Yeah. That's evolutions in English. Yes, correct. This one I do like better than the last one though. To me, this is probably like solidly B tier personally.
I'm
think?
okay with B because again, like I don't love these Charizards, so
yeah. You and I are not super Charizard guys. Somebody in Euros here super chatting. What's up, Pen Wonder? Thanks for the super chat. Opened a lot of Ancient Origins to chase this Ray. A single for 50 euros. Yeah. Jake, I think did you have a story where you pulled that from Ancient Origins? I'm remembering a Ray that you pulling a Ray.
No, I pulled the full art Ray from Roaring Skies. So not this one we're about to chat about, but the full art one with the blue background, which honestly I think is one of the best Rayquaza cards ever made.
Okay, so this next one, we're kind of giving two, but we're gonna just grade them as if they're one card. So we'll treat it as one card. Primal Clash had Primal Groudon and Primal Kyogre. These are on value-wise, like they're $2 apart, and obviously they're two sides of the same coin. So treat this as sort of one card in your mind. What do you think of these guys?
I mean, they're unfortunately like they fall behind the other gold ones you can get from Ancient Origins. These
other gold ones from Ancient Origins, the prime of the same
Ancient, or are they from Primal?
Yeah, Primal. Sorry, I'm this laptop has a different layout to the keyboard. It's like the dimensions of it are different than my work one. You're thinking of this one?
Yes. So Ancient had all three, and so I mean, it means Primal Clash. Like honestly, I think that I think that these ones kind of fall behind. Now the full arts of Groudon and Kyogre in this set are peak, but they're not as expensive.
From just a regular, not Primal?
From Primal, yeah.
But from Ancient Origins or from
the
Primal?
Full arts from Primal. Yeah. So tough. And then the Kyogre, so tough. And again, impossible to grade. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. These are cool. The contrast is, I like the outlet.
Yeah, and again, it's classic deep XY full art texture. So these ones are weak, honestly, for me. I don't know, probably similar as a Charizard.
Which for me, this was like low B, high. I was in my brain, these are low B.
That's fine.
Okay. So I'll just drop one in there for counting it up later, making it a little easier when we're tallying it up at the end. And we are moving on to Breakthroughs Mewtwo.
Breakthrough is such a sick set. Trey and I were talking the other day. I think that there's 10 different Mewtwo cards in this set.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's like 2 versions of regular EX full arts, Mega EX, Mega EX full arts.
There's 10. There's 10.
Yeah.
You're totally right. Yeah, I've seen a lot of these. I've given a lot of these, like these ones. I've given a lot of these away to kids that like Mewtwo's.
Yeah.
This one's really cool too. These full arts with the kind of goldish borders are, I think, a little underrated on the whole.
Yeah, I own that red one in a 10. I think that's just so freaking tough. Look at that.
Yeah, he looks mean. It reminds me of like in Super Smash Bros. Kind of.
Yes.
Like, yeah, I love it. But the chase value wise is this secret. He's got a few cameos from.
They got Haxorus and who else?
That's not Meloetta, is it?
Someone in the chat, tell us.
Tell us if that is. That might be Meloetta. I thought there was one that also maybe has Manaphy in it, but I don't know if it's the same set. Anyway, so what do you think of this card?
Great card. I really like once we get into the secret rares with the gold border in this generation, I'm a fan. Probably I like them more than B tier, but not as much as the Ray. So they probably deserve A for me.
Low A?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. That's about where I'm going with this. I think this is cool. I also feel like around this time is when they started doing more and more of these full arts with cameos.
Yes.
And like this is one of the earlier ones that had like just had other Pokemon like clearly in it. So I'm cool with like low A-ish there. I think it's a cool card.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you're right. It's like the first time that they start introducing this idea of like full art candid images of Pokemon doing things. And they started that with, having other bonds in the background.
Someone asked if it has good texture. I'm going to see if I can find.
Oh, yeah. It's classic. It's classic XY texture on this, which is why they're so hard to grade.
Yeah, the XY texture is like deep, huh? It's like real deep fingerprinty, like sort of style.
Good. It's so good. I got one in here. Yes. Here, while you're flipping to the next one, I'll pull one up and see if we can get it on camera a little bit.
Sure. Our next one here. Right here. Oh yeah, let's boost you.
So if you can see on this Mewtwo, it kind of has like this hex pattern too.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Stop showing me stuff.
I know. It's gorgeous.
That reminds me of I'm a watch guy and used to buy and sell watches a lot, and it reminds me of like guilloche, like the really like texture, like hand etched watch dial is kind of what that reminds me of. Very cool.
Agreed.
Love it. So okay, well I'm comfortable with A there. I think that's good. Okay, this Mega Rayquaza EX is from Roaring Skies.
I love this card. It's my preference of the Rayquazas, the Rayquazas in this generation.
Okay.
I also happen to know that this Rayquaza, compared to the other one, is extremely low pop, making it, I'm pretty sure, the most expensive card in English from this generation in a 10. Well, maybe not. Maybe some of the primals are because they're lower pop. But this card, like, I know people want like, I think like $10,000 or $12,000 for it in a 10. But yeah, I prefer this one. Roaring Sky is one of my favorite sets of all time.
Also, just looking it up for texture check on this.
Yeah.
See if I can find a good photo of one. Oh, is there a bunch of Rayquazas in this set?
There are, yes.
Yeah. Okay, that's going to make it hard without the exact information, huh? It is the, 105?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good enough. Yeah, cool. I like the texture on the head, the contrast. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I like the pinks.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not the shiny, but Yeah, I prefer this one. This is an S tier card for me.
Really? I can't agree with S on this one. Let's go A then. I think it's strong. I think it's sort of similar to me. It's like it's awesome. It's busy. I think
Yeah.
it's right around the same spot as this one for me. So can we agree on A?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, maybe somewhere around there. Okay. Let's go this Umbreon full art looking back at us from Fates Collide.
This is kind of a deceiving card here because it's the more expensive raw card, but it's not as expensive, I don't believe, as the PSA 10 copy of the Alakazam secret rare, which I think is really the star of the show of this set.
Yeah.
This card for me is like it's like a great consolation prize. But the Alakazam, I believe, is an S tier card.
Yeah, that was a good example of one where value-wise, the Alakazam is behind it. So I chose the Umbreon as the chase just to keep the methodology the same. But I'm with you. This Alakazam I've owned and sold a bunch of times, and this
Lugia, Umbreon. Look at that. It's gas.
It is. It's mean. It's in the same exact vein as that Mewtwo. I like this one better than that Mewtwo.
Me too. Like the purple background, it seems like better arranged.
Yeah. And these three Pokemon specifically, like Meloetta is cool, Haxorus is cool, but like these three are iconic early gen Pokemon. So I do love that card. Obviously, if we're rating the set as a whole, we might factor that in, but we are not. We're just talking about the fact that this Umbreon is, like you said, kind of deceptively. It is the chase in current terms. So where do you put this Umbreon?
B. It's fine.
I think that's fair.
I mean, it's a great card, but it's also like from an Umbreon standpoint, it's competing with some of the most iconic cards in the entire TCG.
Yeah.
So
Yep. I'm so comfortable with B. It's about what I had in mind as well. Now we've got this Mega Charizard EX. This is from XY Evolutions.
Yeah. Great card, kind of spoiled by the fact that it was just printed to utter death. If it was a bit more rare, then maybe it would be really a top tier chase in English. In Japanese, it is. In Japanese, this card I think goes for like over $4,000 in a 10.
Correct. It's about 4.
Yeah. And then in English, it's like a $550 card. So cool, but also I don't know. Maybe I'm just detached because I've seen it a lot.
Interesting. I owned this in Japanese, which in a 10, which I think gives me a slightly more positive feeling of it. I have owned the English of this a handful of times. I've owned it in probably a 9 and a 10 in raw a few times. I would propose that this goes low A, high B-ish.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
A or B?
For me, it's in B alongside that Generations one.
Yeah. Okay. I can live with that. Okay. We are moving on to this Blastoise full art from XY Base.
Yeah, XY Base has both Blastoise and Venusaur full art as chase cards. And they kind of like, have the starters here and then dump the Charizard and Flash Fire. I would love to own a set of all three of these in 10s. I have all three in my God Binder ungraded. Love these cards. Fierce stance, deep texture, hard to grade. Ironically, not very expensive, even in near mint condition.
I think it was like 100 something.
Yeah. I mean, I remember owning these and having, selling them for like $35, $40 when I started, got more serious into vending. But, yeah, I think one of the reasons it might be underrated is just because people aren't really even aware of it.
Yeah. I don't know anything about like the print runs or anything for XY Base. I was also surprised to see this and the Venusaur were both relatively inexpensive. I want to say this was mid hundreds if I remember right, and the Venusaur was like 20 or $30 behind that.
Yeah, they're cheaper cards to buy raw, but in a 10, I think the Blastoise people want like 9,000 for it. It's like top 40.
I think our resident Blastoise correspondent in the chat said that this is a very, very low pop. A tier, low pop, Hot take, A tier from Melodic Miles. What do you think, man? We're getting a lot of A
I'm
tier.
with you. I personally love both this and the Venusaur are top chases for me. I would love to pull these out of packs one day.
Yeah,
But I'm a Gen 1er. I'm an old man.
I like about the low A range. I think this belongs right around there.
It's fair.
Cool. And I think this should be our last one for the XY era. This is the very world famous, everyone loves it the most, Steam Siege.
Yeah.
And this is the chase from Steam Siege. It's Gardevoir EX.
Guys, honestly, Steam Siege, not that bad. You know, Gardevoir, Steelix, the Volcanion's cool. I'm down for this card. This is an easy A for me. I've owned this in a 10 multiple times. I'm a big Gardevoir fan. I remember catching routes in Sapphire version and training it into an absolute beast of a Gardevoir. So I'm on board here.
Yeah. 80 something bucks in your mint. Yeah.
That full art Steelix. Look how tough that full art Steelix is.
Yeah, this guy is mean.
16 bucks? Are you kidding?
Yeah. 16, 17 bucks in your mint.
Crazy.
You said A tier?
A for me.
I'm pretty comfortable with that. I think this is Gardevoir is often, I think, very sort of elegant design, and so very often portrayed elegantly. And this one looks mean.
Yeah.
This is like a real dark Gardevoir. It's kind of unusual for me in that way, and that does elevate it for me because it just kind of stands out.
Nice.
I like right around somewhere in this range.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. That's XY.
No, two more.
No. Oh,
you're Furious right. Fists and Breakpoint.
Good call, man. Good call. I thought it was on the same bar here. Okay, Furious Fists. We got Mega Lucario EX. So
The irony is that there's a promo here that's like doesn't appear in the set. That is the Lucario card, the Mega Lucario. That's way better. And so this card, like I've actually only ever owned this card one time. And we sold it just the other night and to somebody who wanted both this one and the regular. But it's classic early XY where the regular and the secret rare are almost identical. Mm-hmm. And this is like, honestly, this card is really only for a Lucario collector. Everyone else, there's better cards. I mean, the full art's better. I mean, the Dragonite, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, the full art is better.
Search the Mega Lucario promo, which should have appeared in this set. No Furious.
Not in this. Oh, you're saying it should have.
Isn't it Mega? Maybe it's not a promo. Anyways, it's try just M Lucario. Sorry, we're wasting your time.
I want to find it.
There it is. That red one in the middle.
Oh, yeah.
See, this is what should have been in the set, but it's a promo.
Yeah, I've owned this in a 10, I believe. Yeah,
it's a fabulous card.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. It's so true. Compared to this is so This to me, this almost, is it a C or a D?
It's a C. I have a hard time putting a chase card as negative points. You know?
It's pretty weak, though. It is pretty weak.
It is.
Okay, weak. Let's leave it in C. Do you want to change the D to 0 instead of negative?
No, it's fine. Because I just don't know if I'll put any of them in there because chase cards in general, I like them enough that I don't know if they'll end up there.
Okay. Last one. Another
S.
Another with cameos.
S.
We've got our Breakpoint Gyarados EX secret rare.
This card goes utterly hard.
Let's see it. Hang on.
Look at that texture.
Oh, you just have all these in a 10, huh?
Some of them.
You flexing on us a little bit.
So that's nice.
The texture's cool, man. I like the sky texture is very cool.
Yeah, the blue, and like the radiant blue here. You got Surfing Greninja. Like this card is gas.
Yeah. Yeah. And Melodic Miles is saying, I think this is exactly how I feel about it. It's like, it's not as iconic as some of the S tiers that we're going to see in these sets. It is like, it's right there. I think it's at the bottom of S. This is a very, very cool card. And also featuring great Pokemon. I love Manaphy. Yeah.
I had the pleasure of opening up a Breakpoint pack for someone on stream a month or two back, and we pulled this card live, and it was exhilarating. I can attest.
Love it.
Pulling this out of an XY pack, because like XY, like commons and uncommons, the print and the cardstock is actually, it's kind of dull compared to like the modern ink style that they use. So when you pull one of these textured cards out like this, it is very exciting.
Yeah. Okay, now we've got them all. So let's tally them up. Maybe I'll use my little phone calculator here. So you wanted to do it as an average? I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, because then we just divide by the number and we can get kind of a feeling for the generation.
Yep. So we've got for S tier, 2 S tiers. We've got 5 A tiers.
Yep.
We've got 4 B tiers. And we've got 2 C tiers. I think we did pretty good here.
Yeah, I agree.
I think this is almost a finish. Okay, so 35, and it was, I think it was 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 35 is the total points. The average is 2.7.
2.7 average.
So chat's going to remember 2.7 is the score. So that makes it an A- as an era in terms of chase cards, roughly.
That sounds exactly right to me.
I think that's right. I think we got this. So do we want to leave the XYs in here? I don't know if it's like an easy way to clear it.
No, I think we leave them. That's fine.
Just leave them? Okay, cool. Should we roll right into, does the chat have any issues with our
chat? How do we feel about
2.7
average for XY?
2.7 as the average for XY. Makes it about an A- in terms of chase cards as an error, not as a, we're not doing whole sets here. The chat, yeah. Okay, Blast Boost first to say, pretty much spot on. Solid. Okay. Solid. Okay. Great.
Wind Waker, go back to work.
Okay. All right, yeah, Jarvis saying the Lucario is D. I could have defended that, but even then it's, then it goes down a little bit. I mean, whatever. I think we got it pretty good, man. This feels like, looking at this, it does reflect, I think, the impact of these cards in the TCG and just my subjective preference of these cards.
What I love about this generation is you can just kind of tell that like they were dabbling in this idea of like, how do we create a larger than life artwork on a card? You know what I mean? Like, how do we push the boundaries? How do we try things we haven't tried before? And you end up with like probably an over busy, as far as like the majority of the chase cards are a little bit just too busy.
Yeah.
And ironically, I think that the S tier cards that we've landed on here are the less busy ones.
True.
So I think it's right on.
Yeah. Yeah. True. Yeah. Some of the ones we like these are some of the least. They are not full arts and they're busy.
If I have to look at the card and be like, what the heck is going on here?
Yeah.
Like I'm not going to be collecting it.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, man. Let's go to Sun and Moon. And I don't think I have these in exact order. That's okay. We will survive. Gardevoir and Sylveon tag team in Unbroken Bonds.
This card is great, dude.
This card is awesome. I love these are like kind of my guilty pleasure mons. Like I like that is like Sylveon's my favorite evolution. I don't know why. I don't normally like.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know why. Like it used to be Espeon, and then like I think Sylveon, the color scheme lends itself to a lot of really, really cool designs, right? Like it has a lot of great SIR alt arts, like really dynamic cards and somewhat viable in the game, like bulky, and I don't know. Like I don't know why. I don't normally like the girly designs that much, but Sylveon and Gardevoir I think are just great, and it makes sense together. Folks
Yeah,
are
I mean,
saying,
this is probably like a top 5 card from the entire generation for me.
yeah,
So I'm there with you.
a lot of S's in here. Hard S from Tiny Flame, who, yeah, not an S. Yeah, I think this is probably ultimately gonna end up like low S for me, but I think it belongs in S for now. So let's drop it in S if we're good with that.
You got to put it in S. I can't spare any more subscribers. Can't lose any more.
Okay. Let's go to Shining Legends.
Oh wow. Okay.
The Mewtube.
All right.
I mean, is it an obvious S tier or what?
It's obvious. Like
Okay, it's
I
obvious.
want to gush about it, but like, why even waste time?
Why even waste time?
This card is a top 10 Pokemon card ever made.
I actually think it's in contention. It's way up. It's so good.
Yeah, let's just say it like this. My older brother, he's like a Gen 1er vintage head, does not care about modern cards.
Yeah.
But when he saw this card, he was like, whoa, wait.
He's like, what is that?
What is that, dude? That thing's sick.
Yeah. It is another one that's impossible to grade because they all had white ink splatter on the back.
Yes.
So you pretty much are going to get an 8 if you get this card. Yeah, man. And it also touches on like a lot of things you've said about sort of being reminiscent of the anime, right? Like the movie. There's a story here.
Yes.
That transcends just the card itself.
Yes, the story that it's telling, but also the story that you're reading when you're in the burnt out building on Cinnabar Island, and you're reading through those little texts about, what they did, and the fact that Mewtwo escaped and he was powerful, and like all of this. It's so nostalgic. And like when you were reading those little blurbs or whatever in the building as like an 8-year-old, you're like, oh my gosh, this is so diabolical. There's so much evil and I have to save the world. And all, like, it's this card is like the epitome of that.
We told you we had like 4 or 5 markety businessy episodes and they were awesome, but we told you we were just gonna geek out in this one for the most part, and yeah.
Guys, I'm not kidding. Like, I know that a lot of the content you've seen from me is like vendor POV and doing deals, but like my favorite part is just taking cards home and putting them in my binder and getting all giddy about it. This is what it's all about.
Love it. Okay, I think I want to move on to the Rainbow Sylveon GX here from Guardians Rising.
Yeah, Guardians Rising, really not a great collector set in general.
Okay.
And this is we're gonna see this probably in a handful of these Sun and Moon sets, that like the really only redeemable thing here is like how hard it is to pull some of these cards.
Okay.
And for the sets where like the rainbow is the most expensive one, the irony is that like the full art non-rainbow, in my opinion, is number 1, a better card. Number 2, lower pop in a 10. And 3, less expensive, both raw and in a 10. Like, better to collect in every way.
Yeah.
And so it makes the chase cards just kind of weak.
Yeah. A lot of these untextured GXs have kind of cooler designs than a lot of the major like rainbow
Big time.
hits.
Big
Yeah.
time. And that even stays true for some of the tag teams, man. Like, I know a lot of people that like the Gengar Mimikyu regular GX more than the alt art from Team Up.
Yeah. Okay. I think this Sylveon is a pretty obvious C tier.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Sylveon. Sylveon has a few S tier cards. Yeah, the VMAX from Evolving Skies, I think, is like,
oh my gosh, dude.
Unbelievable card. Yeah. Okay. Let's go. Let's go to the Lovebird.
Sure.
From Team Up.
Yeah. I mean,
it's obvious, right?
This is a card that has so much aura that, like, I don't even know if I feel worthy owning it. I've never tried to PC this card.
Really?
Every time I've gotten it, I've like immediately put it out for sale, even though I love it. It's like I don't deserve to own it.
Yeah. I love this card. The contrast. I mean, it's super iconic. It is so obviously era defining.
Yeah.
It's, it is to Sun and Moon what Moonbreon is to Sword and Shield, clearly.
Yeah, I think the irony for this card is that, like, this artwork probably should have debuted somewhere around the same time that Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire came out, because of how pivotal it was to fly around on Latios and Latios in the games.
Totally.
But the fact that they, eventually got it into the Sun and Moon era, yeah, so nice. For those who are Latios collectors, like, most sets have really cool, like, symbiotic artworks on separate cards, and to finally get one where they're both in there at the same time, both featured same way, you have this kind of brotherly love heart aspect going on in the middle. Such a solid artwork, and a legitimate chase card. Shout out to all the people that are trying to pull this Deep Pocket Monster and all those guys.
Yeah, Alex Ketchum.
Yeah.
Yep. It's become like a meme with those guys now. Yeah, the game I sunk the most hours into was Sapphire, and I had no strategy at all at the time to catch Latios, and it was one of those that runs away from you like no matter what. I wasn't mean looking or arena trapping it or anything. I was just running around desperately trying to catch it, and I think I finally did do something like catch a Golbat specifically to trap it and like paralyze it and confuse it and like put every status on it to catch it. I have a core memory of catching Latios. So as much as I don't collect Latios and Latios, like this, I mean, it's an obvious S tier card. It has it all. Aura, as you put it, I think is a good phrase for this one. Okay, let's go to Rainbow Lugia from Lost Thunder.
I'll just be repeating myself. Classic situation where I think the full art is cooler in every way than the rainbow. Lugia himself as Amon is carrying the fact that this is a cool card. But I have a Lugia page in my binder, and I don't have this card in it on purpose.
Yeah, I can think of a lot of Lugia cards. I can immediately think of 3 or 4 I'd have on a page before this one, and that's without any thought at all.
Like, here's the full art, and you've got classic Lugia coloring,
the cracked ice-ish texture,
cracked ice, silver background.
Yeah.
This card goes crazy hard compared to the rainbow. The rainbow kind of has like a circular texture pattern, kind of like a bubble, compared to this cracked ice thing going on, which is cool, but it's like, it's just not as great.
Yep, I'm with you. I think that's going to be the case with these rainbows. Though I think it was Tiny Flame in the chat said something about like weirdly selling a lot of rainbows. I had a similar experience at my last show. Sold a lot of rainbow cards.
I mean, but again, like, how are you going to compare it with some of these tag team Altarks?
No, I know.
And I think one of the reasons that they sell is because, like, they're actually rare, but also they're affordable, you know? So, like, they're going to sell, but.
High C?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to Rainbow Gyarados from Crimson Invasion.
I like this one more than the Lugia.
Yeah, interesting. Why?
I like his stance. Again, I'm going to keep saying this. The full art of this card, blue background, really like royal blue, beautiful card. A tough stance. But again, this is a set where this is all you get, really.
Yeah.
And this card is what, like $50? Maybe.
It's not a lot. Yeah. It's not a lot. Let's look it up.
Crimson Invasion is a set like where if your collection box had Crimson Invasion packs, you were just like super disappointed. You're like, no.
Yeah.
Look at that. That Lusamine full art is the second biggest card. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. And then here's your GX full art.
Yeah. I mean, the GX full arts look terrible in these renderings, but
yeah.
Really nice.
The choice to make the background the exact same color as Gyarados himself was definitely one of the choices of all time.
Well, it looks better in person because they give him an outline, but
still. Yeah. Still. Yeah, man. I mean,
oof.
Yeah, these guys. What are these called? Ultra Beasts.
Yeah, Ultra Beast was one of the ideas of all time.
It was definitely a thing they introduced to the Pokemon series.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I might like some of these commons more than some of these.
Legit, yeah.
Xerneas is really good.
Yeah.
These two, this melodic, that the belly is kind of funny, but yeah, this Xerneas is beautiful. All right, man. Oh, this Marowak is cool.
Shout out to Logan Marowak, one of the coolest region specifics.
Yeah. Low B, high C again on this one.
C as well.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to Ultra Prism has Lily. And I think this set, if I remember right, all the top chases are trainer cards.
Yes. I'm not a trainer collector.
I'm not either.
In any way. That's all I'll say about it, because shout out to all the people that are collecting trainers. Do you.
Let's assess this card as objectively as possible. We are making the definitive tier list here for the people.
See?
Oh, I like it a little better than that. I think it's a little better than that.
What if it was worth $5?
Then it wouldn't be the chase. I don't.
You know what I'm saying though? Like, don't be distracted by the fact that this is like a $500 card or
$500 card. Yeah. What does the chat think? There's some B's in here. A lot of B's in the chat. Let me see. Let's look at the set real quick, because I remember this might have been one of the ones too where like you and I are not trainer collector guys, but like this Alicia is all right. Like these have personality at least. Right? This Lusumine's cool. It's way better than the Lusumine we're just looking at.
Yeah.
This Cynthia's pretty weak. $219. Yeah. Can we go low B?
Sure. I'll let you make the choice, because the fact of the matter is, like, these expensive trainer cards, I'll never try to own them, because like that same $500, I can collect some sick cards with that amount of money.
As we just established, the Steelix full art, that's $16 near mint.
Yeah.
You could fill a binder with stuff like that for a $500. It's true.
Exactly.
Yeah, but there's some collectability, and there's Lily comes with its own sort of level of status, or reputation precedes her a little bit.
True.
Yeah. We got Rayquaza GX. This is Celestial Storm.
Yeah, the stance on this one is at least tough enough for it to me. I think it's one of the best of these, rainbow chase cards.
Yeah. So this texture on it.
Yeah. This one, I think, actually does trump the full art, because the full art background is kind of this puce color, which is a little bit strange. It's like yellow greenish.
This one.
So I would probably, if you had to ask me, I would rather own the rainbow instead of the full art. And that's probably like the only one of these where I would say that.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty valid take. Okay.
So this is probably what, B? The other ones are what, C? Yeah.
We put those in C. I like it around there. I think that's reasonable. Let's see what the chat is saying. High C from Blast Boost, low B. This ain't bad. I'm okay with B. Yeah, looks better in person. Yeah, one of the better rainbows. I think people kind of agree with that take. I think the fact that it's Rayquaza, I think, helps a lot. It's cool, Mon. But I think, to your point, like, Lugia is also very cool. Gyarados also very cool. Like, they're not, the coolness there between these Mons, just as Mons, is not extremely different. They're kind of in a similar tier of very, very cool cards. They're very cool Pokemon. And this Lugia stance is not. Yeah, I mean, this is a cooler stance. I'm with you.
Yeah. Oh, one thing, I think the reason that you don't have your 13th set on here, I don't see Hidden Fates on here.
Okay. You're right. We'll have to do that.
Yeah, I'll have to armchair that one. But anyways, the reason I brought that up is because a lot of these rainbows that do get shiny vault cards and hidden fates, the shiny vault just blows the rainbow out of the water.
Yeah.
That's true, I think, for Zard, Umbreon, Sylveon, the Rayquaza we just put up there. Like that shiny, like promo Rayquaza that you get in the collection box is so much better than anything you can pull out of Celestial Storm. It's not even close.
Yeah. Chad is saying we're missing a couple here.
Oh yeah, and Unified.
Unified
Cosmic. And Cosmic.
Okay. That's on me. I used a few other tier lists to pull these. So I thought they would have included all of them. So we will it's
yeah, and we missed Double Crisis from XY.
So let's Okay. Let's the good news is this is an easy fix.
Yeah.
Is Double Crisis the only one we missed from XY?
I think so. Oh, we didn't put Generations. Oh yeah, we did.
We did. We got that one. Okay, Double Crisis. So this is clearly okay. Magma Groudon.
Yeah.
We'll treat it as one, just like we did the Primals. I think this actually. I'm glad people brought this up. This is going to change the score. These are great.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, Justin.
It's our first time talking about Pokemon. Sorry.
Yeah, amateur hour, midweek Machamps. Yes, I pulled it all together. This is a very lost era for me. I don't have a lot of I wasn't collecting at the time that this was a thing. So I'm still learning on these eras myself.
Yeah, these are S tier for me, both of them.
Yep. Yeah, they are. Okay, so how does that change our score? It was previously 35. We go 35 plus 5 for S tier divided by 14 instead of 13. Yes. That makes our average 2.86.
Okay, 2.86.
2.86.
Fates Collide we got. We did the Umbreon from Fates.
Stupid.
Dang, bro. You're getting flamed.
I know. I mean, no, I'm getting flamed. Yes. Well, sorry, y'all. Valid. So
yes, Tobacco. These are, I'm pretty sure, the most expensive. Groudon, well over 20K. Kyogre, name your price. I think it's like pop 11. It's one of the most insane PSA 10s to own in the entire hobby is that Kyogre.
Okay. 2.86 for the average for that one. We will make sure we get Cosmic. Let's write this down. We missed Cosmic and Unbroken.
Cosmic and Hidden Fates and Unified Minds.
Sorry, Unified. That's great. Cosmic and Unified. That's funny. Those are okay. I think I know what the top chases are in those. So we'll circle back to those. Let's do these. Let's finish these ones up.
Yeah.
Let's do the.
So Necrozma here is from Dragon Majesty.
Yeah.
Trey and I were talking about Dragon Majesty, I think literally like yesterday. And the irony here is that Dragon Majesty is pretty much hated, but there are some cool cards here. Reshiram Rainbow, Kyurem, Dragonite. You got the Salamence. I mean, that Salamence is so tough. The Reshiram full art there, great card.
I like that one.
Yeah, the Kingdra's not bad. Altaria, nice. So you do have some cool cards here, but the main chase, yes, is the Necrozma. And coming from someone who I'll admit it, I have not really played through Sun and Moon, the games. And so I have no connection to Necrozma, Ultra Necrozma. So this card is just kind of a wash for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of the Ultra Beast stuff thing. I did play Sun and Moon. I think it's the first era they tried to move away from gyms.
Yeah,
kind of less for like traditional gym thing. Yeah, this obvious. I mean, yeah, this is tough. This one's tough for me. I think if there's one to put in D from either of these eras, it's this.
I agree. This is a card I would never consider owning.
Yeah,
and I mean, like even for rarity's sake, like the gold cards that you can get in like legendary treasures, right? Like the Reshiram and Zekrom, so much cooler than the gold cards they make in Sun and Moon. Yeah. The ones in Sun and Moon do have like this kind of like shadowy profile instead of just like a straight gold treatment, and they're just kind of bad.
Trey went to bat for Dragon Majesty. This is not.
So our argument was like Dragon Majesty was the worst special set of all time, and he rightly so reminded me about just how bad Champion's Path is. Because Champion's Path is one of the worst sets of all time. So,
okay. Let's do Sun and Moon Base has this here, Umbreon GX.
Yeah, another crime where the full art is just, it's much more interesting than the rainbow. It has kind of a dark gray green background. It's only like a $45 card, but I just think it's more interesting than the rainbow.
This.
Yeah, this is, I'd like this.
Yeah. Yes, Lily's not bad too for a trainer card.
Yeah, look at those Espeons though, for example. So you have the rainbow, and then you have that purple one. Like, look how cool the purple one is.
Yeah, I've owned this a couple times.
Yeah. It's a
Yeah.
$20 card, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. This one's another fairly mid. I think it belongs in C with the rest of these guys, probably.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Okay. Lucario GX from Forbidden Lights.
Oh, man, I couldn't even tell you what set that was from.
Forbidden Lights.
I don't think Forbidden Light, a set I've never really considered opening or collecting, except for the Dialga.
Yeah,
Dialga is gas.
Cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Agreed.
Dialga Palkia, full arts and rainbows kind of rescue this set for me.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that Dialga is clearly a standout in this. Okay. Yeah, it's Lucario's. I mean, this to me, this belongs right there with the rest of these C's.
Yep.
Okay. I do think though, before we get to the ones that I missed, this Charizard GX is definitely one of the cooler rainbows.
Agreed.
Burning Shadows.
Agreed. I think it really like sets a trend for like a card being worth the chase. This is a legitimately rare and difficult card to pull.
Yeah.
And hard to grade. So this is kind of an iconic Sun and Moon card.
I agree. I think yeah. So where does it belong? In my mind, this is like in the B to A range. Maybe low A.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just putting them to the left to make it easy to count. So let's just count up the totals we have so far because I don't want to download the images and drop them in here. So we'll add in the Cosmic, Hidden Fates, and Unified that I missed. We've got so far 3 S tier. We've got 1 A tier.
Yeah, 1 A. You've got 2 Bs.
2 Bs.
5 Cs.
Yeah.
And 1 D. Wow.
Loses a point. Okay, so we are at 27 with 3 sets to go. Yeah. And we'll count the total at the end on the card. So let's go to Cosmic.
This is S for me, no doubt.
ADP. Oh man.
Like I absolutely love this card. As someone who played Gen 4 thoroughly, and just all the lore that you could find around the land about the god of time and god of space and all this stuff, and like the actual intrigue of like, oh, how do I actually find and catch Arceus? Like this is such a great card.
Yeah. I'm with you, man. This is one of the era defining ones. I think it's in that top 3 right here with Lovebirds, and it's behind Lovebirds and Mewtwo, maybe ahead of this Gardevoir Sylveon. It's era defining. Very, very cool.
Yep.
And the Japanese, I've owned in a 10. The texture on the Japanese, of course, is like ridiculous.
Yeah, it is.
And then this set generally is incredible. I like Blastoise, Piplup, Solgaleo, Lunala. Like, there's a lot of good stuff.
The Cosmic hit list is endless.
Yeah. It's a crazy set.
It just keeps going and going and going.
It does.
It's like, I think it's like legit like 4 pages of good cards.
Yeah. This Mimikyu is cool. This one has such a. It's so funny. This feels like those trainer galleries before Trainer Gallery was a thing.
Yeah.
So good. A lot of good stuff in this set for sure. But yeah, I mean, obviously, whatever. I mean, the set might be S tier, but yeah, that card is definitely S tier. Let's go Hidden Fates. I
know that it's kind of played out, but this card was so huge.
Yeah.
Like when I was just getting into the hobby again, seriously, it was like peak reprint time for Hidden Fates. And kind of like what people complained about with Prismatic, it was happening with Hidden Fates in like 2020, 2021. And they did like 3 or 4 like formal ETB and 10 reprints, and they just got like scooped and scalped to death. Like I still see people like put listings up on Facebook Marketplace of like, oh, I have 185 Hidden Fates ETBs in my closet, and I'm only going to sell them for 110% of market because I know what I have. Like, this is an iconic set. It has the Charizard. I mean, it's S or A. It's better than the Rainbow.
Yeah, it is. It is. And we put that in A or B? B. A. We put that in A. Okay. It's not. I don't even know if it's my favorite shiny Charizard, but it is deserve. It's A or S, right?
Like again, it's for its aura and iconicness. Like this card, it is really at the beginning for me of like pack opener social media. Seeing this card come out of a pack on like a some sort of short form content, I'm gonna say S.
Okay. I can agree with that just because I don't feel strongly, and it does feel like it deserves to be there. We put the Rainbow at A, which I think is appropriate. So I don't, but it's just not on the level of these other S tier cards.
No, it's not.
It's not. It's just not. Let's go high A.
All right.
Yeah, it's just not. And look at this S tier. This S tier. These are some of the best cards of all time. Yeah. The Charizard is cool. It's not. I don't know if it's one of the best of all time. I'm gonna add it in at 3 points for A, and then we've got our last one here now. Unified Minds, I think, is going to be the Mewtwo.
Yeah, the irony here is that you have this Rainbow, but like the tag teams in this set are way better. And the tag team promo Mewtwo and Mew, which doesn't come in the set, comes in the tin, is so good.
Like these tag team, I like all of these so much better than the Rainbow.
All
3 of those.
I know, and the Rainbow, like I don't know what it is now, but I think it's like a $700-800 card in a 10 max, whereas the tag teams are like double that. Like I think the Trinitar Sableye is like double that price.
Interesting. Yeah, even this one is cool.
Yeah,
this one's better. Yeah.
So like Unified Minds, really a great set.
Yeah,
doesn't deserve what we're about to do to its boy Mewtwo Rainbow.
Yeah, we are rating the chases, and this is that by our methodology, and I think it's about a B.
Yeah, it can't be A.
I think it's around here. Something like this. Okay. That gives us 2. That gives us a total of 37 points for this era with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. For an average of 2.31.
Oh, no.
Wow, that's surprising.
Did you? And you already added the double crisis in for XY?
I did. I'm double checking.
And it increased the number for XY.
It did. It increased it from, we had 2.69 before, it went to 2.86. It was 40 points. So I think really what happened here is the C, these rainbows really, really held this era back as with these being the chases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so the way that we did this with taking the averages, like it means that these weaker Sun and Moon sets, which, like, by the way, almost nobody is collecting. Like, almost no one. It's so, I don't know, maybe on one hand I can count the number of times someone has asked me, "Hey, I need this card. I'm trying to master Lost Thunder. I'm trying to master uh, Forbidden Light." Like, that never happens.
I might have counted. Sorry, I might have counted the Dialga. So
Oh, did
I
you?
did double. I did add the double crisis. We already did that. So
Yeah.
that took XY from 35. Wait, what was it? 35, and then we added an S. What did we do there?
You added one S
We added
for
an S.
X
I
and
just
Y.
didn't upload them. Sorry, I just didn't upload them in here. Yeah, it was the Aqua Magma Kyogre. Yes. So that took it to 40 points divided by 14 chases. We combined the two Kyogre and Groudon pairs. This set, I did divide by 16 instead of 15. I did miscount, but it was still 37 points. So 37 divided by 15 is 2.47.
So again, I think it just because we have so many of those weaker sets at the beginning. But what I can say for Sun and Moon, in defense of Sun and Moon, it has more S tier cards, right?
It does. It has. So I just went and added it. So depending on how you think about the Groudon, right? If we think of that Groudon Kyogre as one unit for these purposes, there are 4 S tier cards in Sun and Moon and 3 in XY.
Yeah, so from like a chase card perspective only, X and Y is beating Sun and Moon narrowly. But if we were to go back, and I think that Arvin mentions this, if we were to go back and like name top 10, top 20 cards from each set and compare them, I think we would find that Sun and Moon is a deeper generation, especially on the latter end. Like, so many of those tag team alt arts would make it into A or maybe even S. Especially if we added some of the promos. Like, dude, like all of those tag team promos, Venusaur Celebi, Mewtwo Mew, Pikachu Zekrom, Snorlax Eevee, like those are iconic promos that so many people want to own in a 10 or in their binder.
Yeah.
But like chase card specific, I think this makes sense. Just how the numbers shake out.
I think so too. And I'm looking through the chat, right? Like Arvin's saying, what if we redo the list and pick the top 20 or 30 cards? That is what this is. We picked the most valuable card from each set, and there's like 15 of them or whatever in one of the eras, right? So we would only,
what he's saying is like select the better era regardless of what sets they are, just like the top 20 or 30 cards from the era, even if like 6 of them are from Cosmic. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, I see. Yes.
In which case he's probably right.
Yeah.
He's probably right, because like Cosmic, Unified, Team Up, Unbroken, like those are deeper sets than anything that XY really has to offer.
Yeah, let's see what happens if we get past. Obviously, we're looking at sealed. What if I remove? Let's go to cards. Yeah, like this Gengar Mimikyu. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, understood. So, well, if we ignore the promos, top 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, this full page takes us still to Gengar Mimikyu.
Yeah.
Okay, however many cards that is, probably close to 20. And then if we do XY and do the same thing, just look at cards. We gain this guy.
Yeah.
If we ignore the promos. Oh man, there's a lot of cool promos in this era. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah. And one thing you can say about XY is it coincides with 20th anniversary, which gives you all of the ponchos, Mario, Luigi, the Game Art Charizard, like a ton of crazy promos from that same year.
These full arts are sick.
They're so sick.
They're so good.
I've owned that Lugia when it was like $400. and now it's like, well, like $3,000 or whatever. Such a fierce card.
Very, very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I mean, look, it to me at a glance, subjectively, it does feel like Sun and Moon is deeper, though it is when for our methodology today, right? The best chase cards, the fact that 5 of the sets had a C tier and 1 of the sets had a D tier. There are basically just like 6 sets where the most valuable thing you can pull is just not that exciting.
Yeah.
That held this era back. But
It
yeah, the
really
best cards of
did.
the set, I think, go harder.
Yeah, it really did. That beginning of Sun and Moon, like there was a reason why there was kind of a lull in Pokemon at that time. Like it was just not that exciting to open Modern for like a year or two there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this tag team as a gimmick is, just one of the best. Yeah, here's that promo. This is
Oh,
yeah, I mean,
like how long? Like if you've had that card raw in your case near mint, have you ever had it survive the day?
no, including graded. I've never had it survive graded either.
Yeah.
Yeah, never. I think I've probably owned it 4 or 5 times in raw plus PSA 10, and I don't think I've ever kept it. I might have one in a 9 now that survived a show.
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, here's another great one promo. It's interesting. Like maybe at some point we got a tier list promos. I think someone in the chat said something like that, like future list best promos. Please don't bring attention to the promos.
Oh, why? Because they don't want me to show these?
Yeah, those guys are cool too. Big 3 from that era. Those ones are missing texture though, right? They're glossy.
Correct. They're just glossy.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so I guess definitively the way we can phrase it, so I think we can conclude with, like, completely objectively speaking, Sun and Moon has the stronger top chases and the top heaviness of it. Like its top 30 cards are probably overall better than XY.
Yeah.
But XY has a really consistent streak of like these like A and B tier cards that you're still happy to pull them. They're still cool. Particularly these A's, I think are really cool. And you have as many A's here from that era as you do the C's from Sun and Moon. And so it's sort of like the highs are higher in Sun and Moon and the lows are lower.
Yeah, I think in general, like what a way I would phrase it is like Sun and Moon has more sets that are just utterly misses. Like just utterly for a collector, they just miss compared to X and Y. Like almost every set has something that's at least like, redeemable.
Arvin is just begging us to check out Roaring Skies and Ancient Origins as a whole set, I think.
Yeah, Roaring Skies is tough.
Isn't this the Rudy's bathroom set?
Yes, it is. Yeah, this set hovered at like $500 for many years in a box. Now it's like almost 4,000. That Rayquaza right there. Yes.
Yeah,
this cool. Card is so tough.
This Latios is pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Ancient. Let's look at Ancient as a whole.
The cool. Tina, the T-Tar.
Yeah, T-Tar is cool.
Yeah.
And that's another one that's $100.
The Mega Sceptile's so tough.
Yeah. Okay. Oh man,
the Machamp. Yeah. I have that one in a 10. The Machamp.
Kyurem's awesome.
Kyurem, yep.
Yeah. This Machamp. Can we just spend the next half hour talking about how Max Holloway said you were built like a Machamp? Can we just spend like 30 minutes on that, please?
I think, emphasis on past tense. I no longer look anything like that. But
you did show him a picture on like fight day.
It was weigh-in day. I was about as ripped as it could possibly be.
Yeah, as you've ever been. Yeah, sure. Incredible, man. So I'm very happy for you. Also jealous, but very happy for you. Max Holloway is my favorite athlete ever.
That's
period.
why I was nervous, dude. Like, there's only maybe 5 people on planet Earth I would actually get nervous to talk to, and he was one of them.
Yeah, you forgot English a little bit there.
I did.
You forgot how to form words for a second. Which I understand. I'm not judging you. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, no, it doesn't happen to me, and it did.
All right, man. Well, this was fun, and we should probably. I mean, the chat's hanging out with us. It's not like we've had the same sort of live viewership that we usually do. So I don't know. Chat, you tell us. Do we do more tier lists like this and mix one in every few kind of markety, businessy ones? You tell us if you like it. I think we have fun doing it. So if y'all like it, we'll keep doing it. And if you don't, we might probably keep doing it anyway.
Yeah, I'll still do it just because we like to talk about Pokemon.
We'll probably just do it anyway. All right, man. Should we go to Q&A?
Let's do it.
I'll pull up a few, but for folks in the chat, we didn't get a ton of questions right. I think people were really engaged with the tier list, which makes sense. So folks are saying, yes, absolutely. They love the tier list. Love it. Yeah. Participatory, do more. I love it. Yeah. Good. Arvin's going to copy us. I mean, of course. He idolizes us.
Yeah, we're worth copying.
Love it. Agreed. Okay, folks, if you have questions, just throw them in the chat. We'll probably hang out for another half hour or so. Blast boost. With the $100 super chat. Spending more time with the wife. I missed the last few shows. Making up today. Gave up with the market but buying cases. What singles are you guys bullish on in the late SV era and ME era?
Blast boost. Great question. Thanks for all the support, my friend, and for always being here. What singles are we bullish on in the late SV era and Mega era? Ones that have huge upside, in your opinion? Huge upside. I'm going to go for all 3 of the big SIRs from Surging Sparks: Pikachu, Latios, Milotic. I think compared to other options in the late end of SV and into Mega, those are comparatively more affordable right now, and they should be more expensive.
Nice. I would want to do a quick research on the pops before saying anything too definitive, but I think the Kingdra and Greninja Shrouded Fable promos are really, really good. And it's not clear to me whether they've like done big reprints of that specific box that they come in. So I think those are good long-term late SV singles. I'm just looking through a list now. Anything else come to mind for you, Jake?
Well, also about Mega, I mean, the Charizard from Phantasmal, always going to be a desirable card for the rest of forever. But big upside, hard to say until we know how many are available out there.
Yeah, it's really early. Yeah, searching the words Mega Evolution in TCG Player are not that helpful. I honestly, with these new sets, I kind of ignore them. The Venusaur connecting arts, the Venusaur, Bulbasaur, Ivysaur line from base, that to me feels like kind of no-brainer-ish in the long run.
Yeah.
The Lucario, right? The Mega Lucario, that looks kind of cartoonish, like comic booky.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, we're talking about like the main chases from some of those sets, but so much of like upside comes down to pop reports and things like that.
Yeah, it does. It does. Well, thanks for the super chat, Blast Boost. Thanks for always being here. Arvin loves us both.
We love you, Arvin. Miss you.
We do love you, Arvin. Okay, I'm gonna start going through. Well, I'll do this one just because the super chat, and then I'll start going into these other questions here. Just catching up a little bit on questions. Spenny Lanes, thanks for the super chat. Anyone use Collector and thoughts on it?
I use it for like keeping track of what I have, but I don't necessarily like look at it. Like I know some people like use their tracking apps, whether Collector or Shiny or otherwise, as like an actual portfolio, look at how my trend is and how my value and my net worth. I don't really view it like that. Mostly just for cataloging what it is that I have because of the really great UI for adding and subtracting things. But as far as like valuing things, when I'm like going to make a deal with someone on their collection or my collection, I don't use it as like a place to find like what I should sell something for or buy something for.
Yep. Agreed. Same. I use Shiny to track sealed only, and then I use Collector kind of similarly. Actually, the main thing I personally use Collector for right now is to help me keep track of how I'm doing against my Legendary Collection Reverse Master set.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, I mean it's I think solid. It's one of the good options. Blue Mew asked us at the very, very beginning. And so I started and thought we would come back to it. And I'm sure there will be plenty more conversation around this as time goes on. So for the folks that didn't watch this, which I would completely understand if you didn't, it's a long video. And if you didn't like the first 3 minutes, you're not going to like the whole video. But I basically just recorded my regular life and barely edited it, didn't perform anything. I just set up a camera and as often as I could remember to throughout the course of about 10 days. And at the end of it, I had a little spiel sitting on the ground after jiu-jitsu class saying that all of my life's regrets were times I wasn't as assertive or convicted in my own position. And basically I've never regretted speaking up for what I wanted. And sometimes I've regretted not. And so in acting with conviction, I soft announced that I'm pretty seriously considering pursuing Pokemon full time this year. And Pokemon as like a whole, it's not just selling cards. It's there's a lot of parts of this business that I think I can make work and that I would really love doing and participating in. So Jake, what was your reaction to that?
Well, I know a little bit more behind the scenes. You and I get to chat a lot, and
You do.
It's a question that I love to ask you or anyone, about where they're at, because, I made that decision back in 2024. And at the time, I could not have guessed like what the next, year, 18 months or whatever would hold. And but everyone's in their own situation, different level of responsibilities and different level of financial freedom going into a risky endeavor like that. So it's always fun to talk to other people and see where they're at. And you're someone who's in a really unique position compared to what I think many of the people who have gone or will go full time in this hobby are not like you. They're not people who are extremely professionally successful, and their first thought before making the leap, isn't, oh, wow, I'm really, trending well in my career, and I don't want to walk away from, where that industry is going and potentially lose traction or whatever by, moving into a totally different industry. Most people are thinking like, can I make enough money just to cover my bills? What are my parents going to think if I do this? Like comparatively more maybe urgent questions compared to what you have, which is more about identity and long-term financial success compared to what you might do if you were in corporate America for longer. So it's fun to talk about, because it's life. It's a big life decision.
Yeah.
I won't say more than that because I want you to, walk your road and then tell everyone what happens when it happens, if it happens.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yes. Yeah, I'm sure there will be plenty more discussion on it. Inevitably it's going to come up next episode with Dan from Catch 'em All Collectibles. So we'll probably end up talking more about it then. Very, very early on, Adams Collects, we kind of shouted this out. Thanks for the super chat. Will we do an episode with the Clover Cards brothers one day? I don't know these guys personally, but
I'm open to it. They run a pretty large business, guys. Like it's definitely different than kind of the scale and scope that Ricky and I are working on. And I don't know if they'd be interested in it. I have done a lot of deals with those guys. They're good guys. They're great businessmen, very talented, know what they're doing. And I don't know if this is the kind of their speed, but maybe it is. And I've reached out to them about interviews and chats and things like that, and they've got so much going on. I don't know if it's even worth their time.
Fair enough. From Melodic Miles, who's been in the chat with us a lot today, any advice for overcoming the cost of $100 for a table?
Well, the market's strong, Miles. And so I would just say if you're at the point where you have enough inventory where if you were to sell, let's say 15 or 20% of it at a show in the weekend, then you would cover that cost, like and then some and have some profit on your hands. Then it's probably worth your time, right? So what are we talking about? We're probably talking about bringing at least $5,000 to $8,000 worth of inventory to a show to like pretty confidently cover that cost. What do you think, Ricky?
Yeah. Yeah, you probably need a few $1,000s to cover that cost for sure of inventory. If you don't have that, and if $100 is really hard for you, what my mind went to was what I would do if my exact personality, but I'm worried about $100 for a table. I would try to make $100 of profit flipping on somewhere like eBay, and then I would use that profit as like to de-risk the cost of the table, basically.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. A really good example of that, Miles. Go check out the YouTube channel Chase After the Right Price. They recently came out. Chase is a prolific reseller in the Midwest. They have like a easy 7-figure business doing that, primarily video games, but also a lot of cards and stuff. And what he's doing right now is he's trying to collect every single Pokemon related video game console that's ever been made. And some of them are extremely rare and pricey. And so what he'll do is he'll say, okay, this game console costs $10,000 or whatever it is. And then he'll make a video of himself going around and buy, sell, trade to build up what he calls his Pokebank. And he puts that number in the top right corner of his video. And every time he makes a deal where he can make some margin on it, then they add to the Pokebank. And then he kind of justifies it's now his right to go and buy the thing that he wants for his collection because he's done, 85 grand in transactions that will net him 10 grand in net profit. And therefore he can go spend that 10, right?
Nice. Good. Cool. Trident's cards are making shorts better than making videos for vendor POV. What do you mean by better?
What is better? What is the good? Let's get philosophical.
Yeah. So maybe Trident's cards. That's not a rhetorical question. Give us a little bit more in the chat, and then we'll come back to it. I do want to answer this question, but better how? Yeah. Wind Waker. Pokemon change things up with every era and how they do the cards. This new Mega era kind of carries over the Scarlet Violet way of doing things. Do you think the SIRs and IRs are here to stay forever?
I can't say forever, but I feel like Pokemon has kept in the IRs, SIRs because they've kind of cracked a code on demand and they find out what people want. And, Pokemon is a business, and a business has a very refined and analytical marketing department. And marketing departments, they look at social media click-throughs and impressions and things like that. So if Pokemon puts out a leak of a new card through their official channel, they'll see what kind of traction they get. They'll see how that compares with when they show other things to kind of get an idea of demand. And the illustration / SIR style of chase cards in modern cards is working. And they'll keep doing it until maybe it doesn't work. That's my take.
Yeah.
But they also like to innovate. Like the MURs, those are new. The gold cards are new style. I think they're going to keep trying new things. They're an innovative company.
The BWRs kind of similar to that silver Dialga, right? Like
yes.
Yeah, they test the waters on things like that and see how people react. I think there's also like they could always kind of go back to old gimmicks, so we wouldn't think of them as IRs or SIRs, but like it wouldn't shock me if someday they did something like tag team again, or if they did they've made only a small handful of lenticular cards, like the Deoxys, where like it kind of moves. Like, what if that became the main chase gimmick? Was like every main hit, or a couple. What if the new SIR was a lenticular card? Yeah, I think there's options for them that they could test things like that.
Yeah, this actually reminded me of Blast Boost's question. I am super bullish on the BWRs from Black White. The Zekrom, the Reshiram, the Victini, those cards I think are so sick.
They are. They're very cool. They're extra cool in person. Like any of those sort of like matte looking cards, you just can't get a feel for them unless you see them in person. Yeah, I wonder if are they gonna, but the population's really a different game than that silver Dialga, right? Like the great ability and stuff. They're not gonna probably reach the same sorts of heights, but they are probably underappreciated right now. That whole set, you've said multiple times, you feel is underappreciated.
Yeah, it's an excellent set. If you're a black and white fan, like, you are eating big time on that.
Yeah, for sure. From Chaotic Ninx, also been in the chat with us for a while. Do we think PSA drama will affect people who collect mainly 9s?
The short-term effect right now that I'm noticing is just increase in liquidity on every graded card.
Yeah.
I saw people, I know people who brought 2 or 3 carry-on cases full of CGC bulk slabs to the Pasadena show this past weekend, and they all sold.
Wow.
And not necessarily to collectors, but to repackers. Like, there's just, cards are moving right now. Every type, 9s, 10s, chases, grails, trash, all of it.
I think in the meantime, for collectors who like 9s, I guess a modern 9 versus a vintage 9 is an extremely different thing.
True.
I don't see how this will have much impact on modern 9s, because the meta there is just the typical pull is a 9 on average, roughly. So it's basically raw value. For vintage right now, I kind of feel like when people get priced out of the 10s, when they go to 20K, sometimes they go to the 9, and that becomes a desirable thing for collectors. Maybe you can get the 9 for 2K and you still have a authenticated, rare, high quality copy of a card. So I think the PSA drama right now might be a tailwind for vintage 9s, and probably a net nothing on modern would be my gut reaction.
Yeah, I like it.
Cool. My buddy Proke Bro JT. For someone who collects sealed purely for the money, is now a good time to exit DR, Destin Rivals booster boxes, to fund buying cheaper sealed boxes and enjoy some profits. I've been thinking about this run with Destin Rivals, which JT informed me of. I don't look that closely at prices of things between shows. I know what my take is here.
I'm going to say no. Philosophically, what we're asking about here is, should I take my sealed investment that I planned on sitting on and flip it into other things, and hopefully those go up, over time as well? And I think the answer is no, because there's just as good a chance that DR continues to outperform and then, have gains slowly, but faster than its counterparts to the upside over time, than something, outperforming and catching it. But I also think I want to kind of question your logic here, JT, because what you're talking about is, should I take my play that was to sit on it and wait for it to grow and move it into an active business situation where I'm trying to flip it and then, maximize the value? Because flipping and buying things at a margin and selling them at full price is always the way to maximize the, increase in value or, profit that you have in what you're doing. But it's a business, and sitting on sealed product doesn't require any work. And so if we're comparing flipping to having something sit in your closet, you also now have to factor in the value of your time, and your, the relative fees and costs that you have for making that play or multiple plays as you flip upwards and upwards. So it's kind of apples and oranges, in my opinion. Are you sitting on product or are you flipping it?
Matt Allen just put in the chat where my mind goes with specifically with DR booster boxes. It's really, I really zooming in on the booster boxes piece of this. It's not 100% clear to me that the specific booster box form factor is going to be reprinted into oblivion for some of these sets.
Yeah.
So I feel quite differently about hanging on to DR booster boxes, even though they've gone up, especially if the cost basis is pretty good, versus things like ETBs or other, like, whatever loose packs.
Bundles,
yeah, bundles, right? ETBs and bundles. I think if you are actively flipping, and JT is with me now, so I am probably going to go take a look at what I've got as far as ETBs and bundles of this set, and considering selling them now to take those profits and roll those profits into growing the business side of things. I have a case. I have a couple booster boxes, 2 or 3 or 4, somewhere in that range. I don't plan to sell them even with the current run up.
How about I just speak from experience? I'm someone who sold 3 or 4 Evolving Skies boxes when they went from 150 to 400. I wish I would have kept those now.
Yeah. And we did with Danny Phantom, the last time we did a tier list, we did say Destined Rivals was a very, very strong set from the era. So, okay, going back to Trident's cards, who had earlier asked about shorts versus longs for vendor POV and which is better. And the answer is for views and to grow your channel. If all you care about is views and to grow your channel, then sure, shorts are better. If that's actually the outcome you want, I would challenge whether those are the right things to chase.
Completely agree.
Yeah, which is to say, Trident's cards, the quality of the shorts audience is much, much, much lower.
Yeah, I mean, Trident's cards, you're unfortunately talking to people who are currently sitting on like a 3-hour live stream. So you already know our opinion about shorts versus longs and where we like to spend our time, where we like to build our community, where we think like actual connections are made, where we think we can actually, talk to each other about doing business and improve each other's lives. Shorts are great for helping people discover your channel. That's true. I think you should do some of it. But like at the end of the day, I want to be on social media to like actually connect with people and not just to grab their attention for a minute or two.
Totally agree. Yeah. Coop just posted something on his Instagram story the other day where somebody had commented, I just discovered Coop does long forms. Go check those out. And like that is a microcosm of the broader trend, which is that 99% of the people that watch your shorts might recognize you at a show because they saw your shorts and they didn't watch your longs. That doesn't necessarily, one, mean that they'll like convert into a customer if that's something that you're interested in doing with your audience. And 2, yeah, it doesn't build community at all. Like those people are they like, again, like 99% of the people that watch Coop's shorts have no idea that he posts equally great long form videos.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's solely for views. And if growing your channel means subscriber count and you don't care about the quality of those views or subscriber count, then focus on shorts. But yes, Jake put it well.
Yeah. Again, you're also talking to a couple of old heads, Tridents. Like,
true too.
Ricky and I have been watching YouTube since we were teenagers. Like we're old geezers in the internet world.
Yeah, unfortunately true. All right, let's Indresification. Instagram story sales with trades in my favor. Thoughts?
Yes. You ready? Here's why. If I'm putting something up for sale, I want money. And if you're asking me, will you take trades when I ask for money, then you better be prepared to offer me something that will make me more money than a trade. Right? Like if the point of putting something up for sale with a sticker price on there is to get money out of it, and someone can only offer a trade, then that means we're spinning our wheels. And in order for that to make sense, which sometimes it does, but like it has to be trade in the like. Take it this way: I'm at my table and I have sticker prices on every single item. If you come to my table and you say, "Hey, I'll buy this and this and this and this at your sticker price," I'll just say yes, because that was the intention for me of putting the card out with the sticker price on it. But if you ask, will you take trades? Now we have to work through a deal to decide, okay, is taking a trade actually worth my time as a business? Then yeah, I have to go through that entire process. And to be totally frank with you, like in certain situations, like I don't want to take a trade on something because I just want more cash flow in the business, or I want to take that money and buy something that you don't have, you know? And so now if we're talking about someone who is like, I don't know, is like actively holding themselves out as a non-business entity and they're just collector only, and they're professing that like they're just a collector, but then they require trades in their favor, then they're a hypocrite. But that doesn't mean that it's like it's not okay for them to do that, to like ask for trades in their favor, because they're just a business without saying they are.
Yeah. One thing I want to add to this is I think this is extremely different than reaching out to somebody and expecting it in your favor when you're the one sort of initiating the reach out, like on Facebook
Sure.
Marketplace. Or if I reach out to Jake and I'm like, can we do a trade in my favor? But it's like on Jake's story sale or something. Or if it's Facebook Marketplace and we're just regular guys, right? We're just people who have things. I think that's really different than a story sale, because for a story sale to work, you have to have often like you probably have put in the effort and the capital to build an audience and to build inventory that people are interested in. And it is a little bit closer to me to like setting up a storefront. It's a little like a virtual version of a card show. Like it's my table. I can ask for things in my favor. Like, and I think there was some sentiment in here on like Instagram stories are meant for sales. I don't necessarily agree with this. I put up a card that I'm generally looking to sell when I'm doing Instagram stories, but I put up a card that somebody who reached out to me, they're a regular collector, they don't have a business or they're not a vendor. They really, really want this card and it's over $1,000 and they don't have $1,000 of cash to throw at it. But what they do have is a bunch of near mint EX silver border cards that they know I like to take in because they watch my videos, and they're like happy to take a bit of a, percentage in my favor because I'm going through the effort or whatever. And we came to a reasonable deal, and they get to access a card that they want for, it was like they're adding $160 cash or something. So for $160 out of their pocket, they get to get something that they want more. And what's in it for me, like, I have to run down to the post office.
I think that's what he means here, though, Ricky. Like, I think what Matt is saying is like the point of it is to sell the items. But if you're going to offer a trade, and this guy did, then he's expecting you to take a margin, which he was. So everyone was on the same page.
Totally. Oh, it's me? Oh, yeah. Is that who I'm talking about? Cool. I'm excited with the Bulbasaur. It is a Venusaur slab. So yeah, great. Awesome. I'm excited.
Shout out Bulbasaur. Hey, next time sell me those silver border EXs. I want
get out of here. I had something he wanted. Get out of here. No, it was a really, really reasonable interaction. Awesome. Okay, good. Yes, it's you. What's up, man? Thanks for being here. Thanks for the deal. I'm looking forward to getting your end of the trade too. Let's see what else we got here. What's from Gurgity Gurg? What is the most underrated vintage set, and why is it base set 2?
Oh man, I think base set 2 is reasonably underrated. The only saving grace is that it has Cosmos foil hollow patterns. Everything else is just like utterly oof about base set 2. Actually, not true. The Cosmos foil pattern and also the pack arts are gas on base set 2.
The pack arts on base set. Oh yeah.
You just got like yellow background, Gyarados. Like that's sick.
Yeah, that is. For me, I think the most underrated vintage set is EX Sandstorm. I'm going to throw that out there.
Ooh, okay.
Is that underrated?
Yeah. No, I'm with you on. So these early Gen 3 sets,
yeah,
Sandstorm, Dragon, Ruby Sapphire base, like those are so cool.
Yeah.
Like pull up the Jolteon and Flareon from Sandstorm. Those cards go so hard.
Hang on, let me just put in Sandstorm and let's just look at it.
Let's just goo goo gaga about Sandstorm.
Yeah, I mean, we promised geeking out about cards today.
Look at that Raichu, dude. That thing is tight.
Yeah, this Kabutop's mean.
So mean.
Super mean. This Gardevoir, great. I have one at PSA right now. Here's a Flareon, beautiful.
Yes.
Jolteon, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man,
Shifter's
and then
tight. Umbreon. You got the Vaporeon is a beautiful artwork.
Yeah. Even this Armaldo, I kind of like this guy.
Yo, I owned that in a 10. I had that in a 10 for a minute. It's
Nice.
like super low pop.
Yeah, I bet it is, man. Yeah, I like this Arcanine too.
Yes.
Yeah, I think this is one of my picks. Sandstorm's cool. Okay, what else? From X Drew 99X, PC ETBs or UPCs, long-term hold, which is better in your opinion?
Oh man. I'm gonna say, and this might be wrong mathematically, but I'm gonna say UPCs. I think UPCs are more fun to open, more exciting, better box artwork in a lot of cases. I think PCETBs are only expensive because like there's a little bit of exclusivity to them. But I don't like them as a product as much as UPCs. I think almost every UPC, in my opinion, is so cool. There's so many cool promos and playmats and coins and pins and all sorts of cool stuff in UPCs comparatively. But they're bulkier. And so if you're trying to like actually, store a bunch of these for long term, it gets kind of tough.
Yeah. Matt Allen said exactly how I feel here with UPC. Not all are created equal. So like I prefer the 151 UPC openly to the PC ETB. But yeah, I mean like Phantasmal, I think I'd rather have the PC ETB. Like I think there's an exclusivity thing to the PC ETB. So if the question, which I'm assuming it is about long-term hold, is about value, I feel like the exclusivity, the one-time run, it's kind of like first edition in a way. That Pokemon Center stamp maybe someday will kind of be looked at a little bit like that. I think on average, PC ETBs might be better holds, particularly for Scarlet Violet when they added the promo with the stamp. But a lot of the UPCs display, as you said, Jake, like a lot of UPCs display really well. That Rocket Moltres one, like the pack selection's not that good. As a display item, as a collectible, very, very cool.
So sick.
It's very cool. So yeah, I like them both. I think as a collector, I'd rather have the UPCs, and for long-term value, I think the PCTB exclusivity probably will win it on average, be my guess. What are we thinking, Jake? Do we take one or two more? We call it there?
Yeah, let's do one or two more.
Let's see. Here's one just for you from earlier. Yoshi Mad Lad. If Silver Dialga is 20k to 10, do you believe the 9 is undervalued?
I haven't looked up comps for a 9, but typically when a 10 moves up in value, the 9 moves up as well. Not always at the same rate. This card is interesting because it's so much in a 10 specifically because it's very difficult to grade, and many of the graded copies are locked up in high net worth long-term collections, people who are not in a position where they really care to sell them, whereas the 9 is not that way. But yeah, I mean, as 10s go up in value, 9s follow them. Go ask first edition base set Charizard how they feel. I mean, the 10 went up to like 500 grand, and now the 9 is like nearly 100. So
yeah, it's kind of related to what I was saying earlier. The question about like, does the PSA drama affect people who collect 9s? This might be a scenario where like, if the Dialga becomes prohibitively expensive to somebody who wants it, the 9, yeah, I don't know what the 9 is. If the 9 is under 5,000, I mean, I guess then you have to look at the pops. right? Like how much more common is the 9 than the 10? How much harder is it to get the 10?
Yeah.
But maybe, yeah. I think.
Yeah, you still see near mint copies of Silver Dialga at a lot of shows.
Yeah. Okay. Here's a recent one. Maybe we end on this one before we do our elite forecast. Jaren have TCG. Just starting my channel, working on long form and directing people to my website. Main sales avenues are eBay and TCG Player. What types of videos are underrepresented in the community?
Jaren, what types of videos would you really like to watch on YouTube that are just not really readily available when you log in? That's what you should make. I know, Ricky, you got an opinion on that.
Totally. I mean, that is a high percentage of my opinion on that. Really specifically, I'm not necessarily saying that you should make this sort of content, but I've been attempting to watch Selling the OC, which is a reality show, very reality show coded. It's like 60% just like interpersonal drama, but it's 40% really cool houses in Orange County. And I think there's opportunity in a lot of YouTube to make a less drama heavy version of these reality shows as a YouTuber. There's a YouTuber that did this for specifically Asian American dating show in a house called House of Feelings. And so if anyone's watched House of Feelings, they know it's kind of like Love Island, but like they did their own like kind of low production take on it and change it up a little bit. And it was really fun to watch. I liked it. And I had that thought, like, I would watch a Pokemon reality show if someone did it where it wasn't like really cheesily scripted. And I don't know what that looks like. I don't know if that's, like a true behind the scene, like shop owner POV, like people are doing shop owner POV, like Poke Chloe and whoever else, Java Kuma. But I think there's more opportunity to like build the story of each day or week in the shop. I think it'd be interesting to see, like, now we're stocking inventory and that's this person's job, and kind of talk smack or whatever. I don't know. I think there's
some video game stores that are doing this now. Again, we got Retro Rick who's doing that, and also Phoenix Resale is doing that. And so, yeah, look into those channels. They're doing a lot of cool, like, video game store type of content. And you mentioned selling on eBay and TCG Player. Here's one harder thing, and maybe this is just my bias. One harder thing about making content specifically about selling on eBay and TCG Player is that those channels are like inherently kind of private. Like it's just like one person interacting with a listing.
There's nothing to watch.
Exactly. So you would have to make videos if that's your only sales channel, and you're wanting to do like day in the life of. It would have to mostly be stuff about like sourcing, is my guess. Like the people that do eBay resale types of channels, most of their videos are about going to garage sales, going to game stores, going to shows and sourcing, or about hunting down pieces for their collection that they're adding with portions of the profits that they're making from their business. And so that's why I think the best thing to make, Jaren, is really what you would want to be watching. Like, while you're someone who's obviously processing a lot of cards, mailing them out, sending them, uploading listings, like, what do you turn on to watch while you're doing all of that behind the scenes work that you would love other people who are like you to watch?
Yeah. Yep. Trying to think if there's anything else to add here. I think there's a lot that are underrepresented. I think a lot of it is one thing that I do a lot with my content. I'm very, very open about this. Because I'll occasionally get feedback of like, I'll get comments like, I'm the only one doing this in Pokemon. And I think sometimes that's true. Sometimes it's not, but sometimes it's true. But I'm definitely far from the first person to be doing whatever I'm doing. Like the day in the life vlog, like I'm totally borrowing inspiration from this vlog, it's almost like what YouTube originally was. It's like the oldest form of sharing a video is like, here's just me in my house and how I talk to my wife and kids, and here's my dogs, and like, here's a video of that. Like, that's kind of what that last video was. But it's true that like not many people are showing that in Pokemon as a niche. So I think you look at other verticals of what's working and think about, yeah, to Jake's point, like what doesn't exist that you wish did? Like, what do you watch not about cards that no one is doing in cards? That's another example. Another one you could do is you could look at what kinds of questions get asked a lot and make videos that respond to those questions. Some of my highest performing videos, like the pre-grading one, is when I just got asked a lot to make a pre-grading video. So like, you look in a chat like this one, look at the questions that are getting asked, right? Like people ask about like Jaren, in your case, if you sell a lot on TCG Player, you have to backfill that a lot. How do you source 10,000 cards a month or whatever it is? Talk through that, like that. People are interested in that sort of information.
Love it.
Okay. I told my wife, who did not believe me, that this one probably wouldn't make it to 3 hours because we were going to be kind of short up at the top, and then we were going to do a tier list, and there wasn't as much to. Anyway, I was wrong.
You're wrong, Ricky. You like this too much.
I like this too much. They're all going to be 3 hours. Remember, I keep saying this. Remember when I said it was, let's do an hour and a half, and you're like, yeah.
That's a different Ricky back then.
That's true. I think that's true in a lot of ways. I'm very grateful to this stream and this and to you for opening the door to a different, the same Ricky but a different Ricky,
Same but better.
It depends who you ask.
All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. All the questions, comments, super chats, attention, we always have fun with you. We want to do a more collector focused one. We'll be back in 2 weeks with one that is undoubtedly going to be business heavy. Shout out to Dan from Catch 'em All Collectibles. We will see him here with us in a couple of weeks. We'll be talking about a topic I'm sure you will all be interested in. So in between now and then, I've got some big shows. I know, Ricky, you've got some prep for some shows. So we'll have some cool new items to show off and deals to talk about. But that's all for today, and we'll see you guys in a couple of weeks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.